What's my question? I think you could. I think it would blow out my back. But I think you could. The G's. The G's. I could do a low Earth orbit, but I could not do around the moon at 11 G's. It's not the speed, it's the acceleration. That's deceleration. The acceleration is when you go around the moon, you're 5 times the gravity, 7 times the gravity. went to the dispensary and bought a bunch of weed. You didn't think weed could smell that good. Yeah. Yeah, they don't burn them up. Not so much that one. Mountain glue. Yeah, Lauren, let me see what you got though. Wow! That is amazing. Oh. Diesel. That's whatever we went last time. Whenever we went last time.
It tastes like fruit punch.
Yeah, that is amazing. Oh, it's
It's
on
just
there.
like fruit punch. Oh,
It's on there. Fucking yeah.
fruit punch.
Oh well. I guess I'll just have to deal with this today one more time. Well, yeah, I turned the intro music off, yeah. But we were listening to it because I wasn't ready to start the show. Chuck and I were just goofing around. You still have no comment section on YouTube or WeedTube. Can't enter contests. Must not be for me. Dude. That's crazy. Like this jackpot?
Oh, God.
I don't...
So it looks like Adam Wu's made it to Anaheim. He's now at the Disneyland Park in Anaheim.
Listen, if you want to come and stand in front of this thing and explain your, whatever it is, your obsession with Adam Wu, I'm good, but do you think anybody else knows who he is?
Oh, I'm just talking to you.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe he's pretty popular.
He's pretty popular.
Is he a blogger or a streamer? What do you
Oh,
call
well,
him?
you know he's a streamer because you watch his streams.
He's a live streamer.
A blogger is, I think a blogger is more text.
So he's some guy who made a bunch of money.
Oh, you're gonna... Sorry, here we go. Oh, here we go. Right, there you go. There you go.
He's some guy named Adam Wu, and he made his money just going around live streaming Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, and walking through the parks, and that's what he's been doing lately, reopening the Disneyland parks and walking through. Oh, he's done other things like the Helter Skelter, the Charles Manson family, where they lived, and it's pretty informative. I will say that. He went and visited where the music died, and Buddy Holly and all them in the plane crash, Richie Valens. He actually went out there and trucked through some field and went on some guy's property and found the crash site. And then he explains what happens and where it is, and it's pretty interesting.
Careful, the dog's right behind you. I just didn't want you to turn around.
Now he's in Anaheim. He was at Disney World the last 3 days, and now he's made it to Anaheim. He's got nothing better to do than walk through magical kingdom parks.
Live vlogging. But wait. It actually gets better than that.
Wow.
See, Chuck, he watches it in the store. I mean, the hydro store is the worst fucking business, right? You make all your money in one customer, and it's 6:50, 5 minutes before you close. So you sit around all day waiting for that one customer. Okay, so you can't ever say anything about an employee or anybody sitting around in a hydro store, right? Because there is nothing to do 95% of the time.
We've leaned, we've already cleaned.
Yeah, Yeah. So, how long have you been watching Woo? How long did you?
Probably 4 months now.
4 months. So about 4 months ago, 5 months ago, Jackpot discovers the internet. All right. Well, he actually discovered the internet last year, but Jackpot has discovered there's a guy that goes around Disneyland and Magic Mountain or whatever and goes to different places. I mean, it's a good use for the internet. So Jackpot has been watching this. So I get reports on what's going on. We were we were watching. I'm sitting here working, and he calls me over, and Woo meets up with R2D2 Big Boobs. I have no idea who she is, but there's another chick at Disneyland who's in an R2D2 shirt. I mean, an R2D2 is like a fishbowl, and her boobs are so big, it's like R2D2. Anyway, so he meets up with her, and they talk for a few minutes, and she's got her, clip-on knapsack, vlogger stick, selfie vlogger stick, and she's walking around. So Woo meets up with R2D2 Big Boobs, and so I'm watching this, and she's on her channel, and he's on her channel, and she's on his channel, and then they go their separate ways. And as he goes through Disneyland, this fucker meets up with like 3 or 4 more people.
They all recognize him.
At Disneyland who are doing the same thing. And there are people at Disneyland that recognize him, but there were several people in Disneyland. And then what you do is, I guess, I'm not quite sure because I couldn't get myself to watch enough of it, but you can make donations. And maybe he'll eat a pretzel for you?
Yeah.
He'll eat a pretzel for you?
They ask him to go to different stores and buy stuff and eat it.
So that's where it suddenly crosses the line. Watching some dude eat your pretzel? Or R2D2 Big Boobs. Even watching R2D2 Big Boobs eat a pretzel. It's still
a thing.
Just still a thing. Goddamn. Paul XYZ just woke up. Thanks, dude. Brush your teeth. Oh, hey Jackpot, is her name Caitlin Amaranth?
Who, the Big Boobs?
Yeah.
No, it's Danny 702.
Oh, Danny 702.
She used to live here in Vegas, now she moved to Florida.
She used to live here in Vegas. Now she moved to Florida. Danny 702.
Because that Adam Wu, when he was met up with her one time, he called her and said, well, this is Danny 702, and she has her own thing. Then I went to her site and found her videos.
Why did you send me this? Not you. Oh, it's an ad. I don't. She's sniffling. No bully chat, only sleep. Sleep stream. $9 gifted. What? I don't. What? Is there. I don't. What? Making art cosplay. Okay. I don't. Okay. I'm out. That was. I just spent more time on Amber Abernathy than I have seen of the Kardashians in my entire life. I have made it a goal to try to keep the total Kardashian visualizations in my life under 1 minute as long as I possibly can. Yeah. Are they coming down yet?
I think they're supposed to splash down today, right?
Yeah, today I've got
around
Around, is that what it is?
It's around 1 o'clock.
Around 1, we get to watch them circle the Earth in their space Tesla.
Aerodynamics, they've been flying around in the vacuum of space with no air, so no lift, drag, something like that on their capsule.
I love
those
the
radio
boots.
faces where they're really starting to hit the atmosphere and it's affecting.
It really is like Battlestar Galactica meets 2020.
To really guide it.
I like the elbow
Yeah,
patches.
exactly. So speaking of guiding it back home, here come the parachutes.
That was weird.
11:44 a.m. Pacific or 1844 Universal Time.
Parachutes are stored in the kind of the upper part, it's called the upper bulkhead.
What are they doing?
And they're deployed by
They're not doing anything. You know, you need switches to make it really look dramatic. You know what I'm saying? You need like a lot of switches. No, I don't have, it's clear water in the bong. Since I put the screen back in the bowl, I get clear. I don't know what these guys are doing.
Orders. So pirates.
Okay. Oh. What? Thought I just saw something with the parachute. Maybe it was a simulation?
Well, they've been showing other touchdowns.
Oh, they've been showing other touchdowns? Okay.
Touchdowns.
Oh, we've seen that one. This guy, 2 hours ago. What's this guy doing? This guy's always got something clever. This is welcome to my grow tent. I have not used the moose filter for smoking. God, it's a lot of drama. You know what I mean? Like, and then you're like, oh, what are they gonna do? Is it gonna build like an electric race car? Is it gonna put on a bat suit and fly through some rocks? Is it gonna go down a steep trail or like crest a bowl on a dome for a dune buggy? And then, oh, it's a fucking plant. And listen, this guy's brilliant. I'm not, nothing against him. I'm just saying, in the end, it's a fucking plant. But more importantly, I'm a paramedic nurse. I'm a paramedic. I worked on the streets of Las Vegas for years and years. I would not have done the job if I went to healthy people's houses. I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm Jason. I'm a paramedic. Hi, I just want to say good job on staying healthy. The fuck, that would have lasted me a weekend. Who are the Kardashians? You know even less than I do. I work hard at it. You know, and then you look at a great looking garden and you go, meh. You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna, meh, it's a great looking garden. What, okay, so it's a, ow, damn it. Okay, now we do this, and this, this, and back here to internet. Okay, what's, look at it. All right, you look at this and you go, okay, you know what I mean? You get a guy that knows how to grow plants, and he's like, listen, it's week 2 update veg video. You know what I mean? I just want to tell you that it's week 2, and they're vegging. And this video is an update about week 2 and how they're vegging, because this is them vegging, and it's week 2. But first, Okay, so we're not going to do anything about the plants. Perfect. Look at that. We got a little film right there. Good job. This guy's great. Welcome to the grow tent. The guy's great. Activated. Dude, is this guy like Austin Powers? Are we about to switch to like... Got a little like Austin Powers to it. Bam! This is what you do when you don't have a book to sell. And you're a good grower. Everybody before this guy didn't have a book to sell. That was a shitty grower. Homeboy wearing lace stockings. Because they can get so big. Look, he's got all those plants bunched together. They're pushed off into the corner. It's brilliant. Yeah, why isn't the grow book in there? He's got goddamn Mars Hydro in there. Everybody fucking hates the grow boss. I'm like Trump. Why does everybody hate me? I think the stuff in the contest, some of the stuff's my stuff. God damn it. Why aren't I bashing him for not being in a solo cup? I'm sorry. Those plants look pretty good. I can't see the buckets. Why am I can barely see the buckets and he's got a long way to go? I don't have to tell this guy to do anything because he knows how not to kill his plants. So there isn't anything for me to tell this guy about. See, he takes a real long-term view to growing. Everything is real green. He moves real slow. I don't need to bash him for... I need to bash you guys when you're killing your plant in a 5-gallon bucket to help you get a bit of perspective. But to go into a bigger bucket because it's convenient for you with a healthy plant, just watch Lone Villain. I would never presume to tell Lone Villain how to water or what size bucket he should be in because he's not killing his plants. However, for you guys, when Lone Villain says, it's time to water, how do I know when to water? Lone Villain, you know what I mean? Lone Villain never asks, how do I know when it's time to water? And yet this guy right here had to literally make a video and put milk jugs that were half full and 3/4 full so you morons could figure out what a half full pot of water feels like. I mean, he literally had to put milk jugs in there. And then you got Lone Villain on the other side who would never even have to ask the question because he's so peaceful about growing. You guys are, well, how do I know when to water? Oh, it's light. Oh, I put my finger 1 inch down on a 14-inch pot, and that'll tell me the rest of it. You guys can't even figure that out. Oh, how do I know when to water? Oh, I wait till they droop a little. And the funniest part is, you guys still water every day. You wait till they droop because you overwatered. Of course they're going to droop, you overwatered. So you guys are like, oh, I wait till they droop. I water every other day. Instead of like once a week. This guy literally had to make a video where he put bottles of water, jugs of water, of various fill. Because you can't imagine when I say, oh, dude, if you go into your fridge and lift, oh, you can't tell this cup isn't full of water. You know what I mean? You can't tell it's empty or full. You don't know empty, you don't know full, therefore you can't tell halfway. My demographic the people I sell to, which may not be you individually, but the people I sell to collectively are so stupid that they can't transfer a full soda can and a half a soda can or an empty soda can. They can't. They don't understand a milk jug, and they end up watering. I mean, we've been doing the show for 10 years, and the show for 3 years, the book for 10, and you've been overwatering the whole time. This guy put milk jugs to try to explain it to you. I have never had to explain watering to Lone Villain. Therefore, Lone Villain can grow in any size bucket he wants. See, if I have to explain how to tell if a bucket of soil is dry or not to you, and then you argue with me over it, and then all the other videos get it wrong, if I have to argue with you over the amount of water that's in a bucket because you can't rationalize it, we can't move past it. I mean, how do you move past that? It's such a fundamental thing that if you can't work out how much weight is of, you know what I mean, is in something, you can't grow. It's fundamental. It's like not understanding where first and fifth is, or sixth. It's like not understanding where the gears are. Fundamentally, you can't drive that car. So to say things like, this I gotta escape it, and not have any clue how to water, and then after somebody explains a concept to you so simply that if this bucket is 14 inches tall and you check the first inch and the only inch that faces the transpiration evaporation process, and you have not checked the other 15 inches, and if I show you this and you still can't grasp that this plant in this bucket might want to be watered once a week, but this same plant in a bucket 3 times bigger by definition gets watered every 3 weeks. If you can't rationalize these things, we can't move past it. You have to be able to compartmentalize and section things off and identify threats. And that's why when Andy says something like, why don't you chew on him? I can clearly see the buckets. Oh yeah, there are the buckets. Yeah, there are the buckets right there. And this is why you guys fail, because Andy wants to argue that those buckets are visible in a tent where this individual has put all of his plants together up against one edge, all right? And Andy Man is trying to argue that this is my observation over the years has been growing dirt. Okay. So Andy is trying to argue that this is that. This is why they require a cup, because they're overwatered and they're beanstalked with no branches. These are an interpretation of grower talent. Andy's not ready to hear that yet because he's not on the scale of grower talent yet. So Andy's not ready to be given some latitude. You know what I mean? Like when you read my book, sorry, hang on a sec. Let me do this. You keep an eye on the. Oh, you know what I have? You. Oh, damn it! I thought I had it. Almost have it. Oh, it's not on. All right, give me 1 sec.
Bong rips. You can ring my bell. A lot of wisdom I have.
When you read my book, Tales from the Gurney, because I'm writing this paramedic series, right? When you read my book, Tales from the Gurney, which is me talking about, calls that I ran and how I ran them, and I'm as much of a train wreck on a rig as I am here. Of course, I was also as super quick to figure things out as I was here. But in this book, I take liberties with punctuation. There are the last sentence in a paragraph doesn't have punctuation. You don't need it. When you read it, you know what it is. And I've been having my book professionally edited. I pay to have it done. Fiverr. About 100,000 words. It cost me about $1,000 to get professionally edited, but it has to be done because it flows so much better once it's been edited. Okay. You have to be able to recognize the difference between creative license and abject failure. You have to be able to recognize that when I send my books out to be edited, my stories, and I send them blocks at 5 at a time, 10,000 words at a time, something like that. When I send them out to be edited, I don't need any words moved around. He does things like changes and to which or who is. I may have an M at the end of the word the. It says the instead of them, but it's spelled correctly so it's not caught, and I've seen it so many times, my eyes fill it in. He changes the flow of it a little bit with commas, but there are no changing of words, and I don't spell any numbers. I try to write the book like you would charts for your patient. In some ways, but that kind of liberty, when someone doesn't need the help writing, is not the same thing as you going, why don't you say something about, you look at all these awful plants, and then you look at that and you go, what do you want me to say? I mean, you want me to insult this guy by suggesting that those healthy plants should be in a smaller bucket? Not going to do it. Because if you put those plants in one of in a party cup, they would be bigger than the party cup. So I would look foolish. So when Andy watches the show, Andy is looking. He's hunting to prove me wrong. He's not here necessarily to learn the information. He is looking to find a loophole. And the loophole that he found after all this time, because he's been here for more than 6 months, and he's a moderator, and the loophole that he found wasn't even a thing. I mean, he should have bet me $250. You could have went right to my website, right, thegrowboss.com, clicked on the challenges right here, $250, and proved me wrong. Why do you think I have that there? These are fantastic. I don't know where it is I think you would go by putting them into something smaller. And it's those little things that always just multiply as you continue to grow your plant and they continue to be shittier and shittier. It's just it's that attitude.
Go back.
Yes, sir. Here?
Is that a window or a picture on the wall with plants? What is that?
That is, I'll show you. That is a Mars Hydro sticker. And if you notice, it's right next to the Grow Boss sticker. Or not. It must be in a different picture. I think Mars' strategy is smart. You print up 100 of those stickers, send out 100 lights.
It cost them pennies.
Dick. Yeah. Yeah. It costs them.
Folded up metal with a chipboard and some wiring.
Oh, yeah. And enough children to put it together.
Oh, a couple little fans. Computer fans.
A couple of computer fans aiming at the kids putting it together. "18 to 49-year-old dumb, stupid, aggressive males. I just turned 50. And I don't feel any smarter. I feel less aggressive because I'm tired from back surgeries. But I don't feel any smarter." You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Brilliant. Brilliant. All right, let's look at comments. No, I don't think it's too much light. If you're asking me if there's too much light in this tent, I don't think so. I think the plants look green. They look big. I do see the things here. I do see it, and I see some branches. I do. But he's got weeks to go. Those are the kinds of things that can work themselves out with cannabis if you don't continue to kill him. But I do see it. I see, like, this light color over here is more about the angle of the leaf. Andy's taking a whooping.
Did he take that picture under regular light, or is that an LED with just white lights?
I think it's that Mars LED, that long bar one.
That we had?
Yeah. It's just at the top of his tent. Look, the guy's good, man. The guy's playful. Watch, check this out. He's got show me, come on. He's got like a little thumbs up in there. Go ahead and like, and I mean, the guy's playful, right? Yeah. Woo! Woo! I put them all in spam. Woo! Oh, so he's on Patreon. God, I should do that. Look at how peaceful and nice the garden looks. The light's nowhere in the picture. I don't want you to be a Robo Cult member, Andy. I just want to point out how easy it is to say something and just slip right into that behavior that we see on all the other channels. I just want to point out, you have to pay attention, right? It's 50. There it is. 50% equipment, 50% grower talent, 50% strain. There it is. I knew I'd remember what the fuck that was. God, I'm one of the best. God, that drives me fucking nuts. I feel like I'm always second best. Like there's always like I think it was every time I hear it, I'll show you what goes on in my head. Tim Curry, I think. I think it was him. No, I don't think that was it. Maybe I can catch one. That sucks. At some point, this guy looks at every time like they approach him, they're like, I heard you were the second best terrorist in all the land. Every time somebody talks to him, he's like, oh, you're the second best terrorist in all the land. You know what I mean? It just grinds on him. If you want me to check out pics on a site, you have to send me a link, I think, because otherwise I don't know how to communicate with you and get your site on my computer. Yeah, the difference in guys and gals. It's just the customer base that I have, right? So it's just that customer base that's going to grow weed and take over the fucking world. Let's look at, so if you guys want, you can go to my website, thegrowboss.com. Go right here on photo submission. It'll take you to this, where you can post up pictures, and then I can look at them on the show and make fun of you. Oh, you know what I want to do before anything else? I want to, wait. I got it. Sorry. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. Woo! All right, I got to take, one day ago. I just love this guy. There is more floor in bucket in this picture than in this one. There is more bucket and floor in this picture than in that one. What happens after that? Does the whole thing just get sucked into an alternate universe? Oh, he's holding his buds up. That's why you use a trellis. You use a trellis and you control the canopy. God, they're just burnt to shit. No. Okay, sorry, wrong picture. Sorry. By the way, that red spot is the soda can hiding behind the cola. The cola is probably this big around. It's probably, you know what I mean? It's probably got a diameter of 5 inches. That's the corner of the soda can coming out of a cola. Now, is that a top? Is that a little bit more than a 4-inch flopper? Is this almost the best he's ever seen, because he did the same thing a year ago? Now, is that one cola right there, or is this colas? I keep, wait a minute. This is why you don't ever tie your plants down, and this is why you don't ever let your plants stay smaller than the pot that they're in. Because you grow these spears that become uncontrollable, and now you're tying them all up instead of wedging them in the trellis.
Puppet buds.
Puppet buds.
That's what I call them.
Puppet spears. I love puppet buds, yeah.
Puppets.
I love your little puppet buds.
Using it for the trellis. That's
So why is the trellis in the picture? Why did the guy use the trellis? And again, they're seemingly small details, but they all stack up to what I've been telling you since this flowering was going to start. If it's about penetration, it's about the light, and it's about the light absorption, then the maximum result, yield, quality would have to be a canopy that's under control. So he's got a trellis down here and the trellis is for the buds. The trellis isn't to hold the stem or the stalk. The trellis is just to keep your plants, just to keep the colas vertical. So, is that a cola? You know, I think just because these two buds connected to this little flopper right on top, oh, there's another one behind it. I gotta say, if we even have to have the debate about whether it's a cola, if we're even having the debate about whether it's a cola, I would have to say that if we're having the debate about whether it's a cola, it's not a cola.
I mean, you can't say that isn't a cola, because it's a cola, right? Oh my goodness. The smell. And look how big the buds are. Look. How big they are. Look. Even the ones all the way down. Yeah,
Just right through his canopy. Let it focus right through his canopy. And there is no buds. There is more wall. You can see all the way through to the back of his tent. There is as much stick in the picture as there is bud.
how big they are. Look. Even the ones all the way down. Yeah, look at this one.
Okay, if you look in this space, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, by like 1, 2 trellis plus the space on the edge, 90% of the space is empty. So what he has done is he has taken this cube that's 18 inches tall, 12, 14 inches, somewhere right in there, right. The cube that we're looking at, it is 90% empty. And he has come over to this bud right here and said, look how huge it is. First off, not huge. Second off, you have more empty space than full space. And it's because the canopy is out of control. And the plant never got bigger than the bucket. Right there, all the way, his entire trellis row, all the way to the back wall, is empty. Now, Roboss, what are you talking about? The entire trellis wall is empty. Let me just give you an example. Here you go. When you look through the top of the canopy, you can't see the buckets. When you look through the side, you can't see. When you look through the canopy, you can't see the floor. You can't see the wall through the canopy. You can't see the buckets. You can't see the floor. There's some empty canopy. Not very empty. Very full. Okay. Colas in a trellis. You have now got your entire crop inside the trellis at the same height. So you are at max efficiency light conversion. But again, that's the thing about thick harvests with nice you know what, look at you know what a good example of this always is? Oh, you know who has good examples of this? This dude. Look how thick and lush the canopy is. Look how full it is. Look how even it is. You can't see the back wall through it. You can see a little bit in this one. I mean, Andy would be like, oh my God, you can say something about it. That's in the wrong spot. Now, sorry, let's go back to this. Oh! Right there, the whole thing is empty. See the whole space as he approaches it? The whole thing is empty. When you look at that, there is more empty than full. Not more full than empty, more full than empty, more full than empty. And look at this one right here, right? He's going to end up with a third trellis. That's going to the bottom will stretch that out the top. That's because there's so many plants in this one. But he can reach all the way to the back and not touch another one. Just gonna glance, just look down at that. It is a chasm. A chasm of empty. And let's just ignore the burnt leaves, right? Because everything is so good, we don't have to worry about the burnt leaves or the fact that 90% of this space is empty. He is so pleased with just the smell and can't be concerned that he's missed more than 50% of his yield.
So as you can see, the lowers are still going ham, guys. Nice and big. Why? Because I defoliated. We know that, right?
What's with this plant here?
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a couple different ones, and something happened on the right side that something went wrong with the light or something. Okay, so this guy defoliated, and he's got all this branch. Okay, he's got all this branch. He's got burnt leaves. He's missed his yield by 50%.
Defoliation is very big.
And yet, this one here, this more compact plant that looks almost like it could be wider than the bucket, still has leaves. So it's not been defoliated because there's still leaves on it.
Jesus Christ. This fucker just doesn't even know what to do.
It's so small.
What else we got?
Doesn't know what to do.
The unicorn poop that's falling everywhere, but that's okay. I'm not gonna tie her up now. I know you guys see the fishing string here. That because they literally were falling everywhere. So
Yeah, because you didn't put them in a trellis. It's not because your buds are too big.
let's check out the peanut butter breath, man. Like fruity kind of.
It's a good-looking bud. I mean, there are a lot of good-looking buds in here. Don't make the mistake that these buds aren't good-looking. The problem I'm suggesting is that yield is off by 50%.
I didn't get these kind of results with the other nutrient run. You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute. I'm amazed that after listening to the Grow Boss for years, I'm amazed that it's still not about the nutrients. I mean, how can it not be about the nutrients? All the nutrient manufacturers tell you it's about the nutrients. How can it not be about the nutrients?
I didn't get these results.
Yeah, because you're a shitty grower.
It just doesn't change my lights either. I think it's just everything together. The tribus, you know?
I don't know what the tribus is, but everything together is, to me, everything together is equal to grower talent. It's your interpretation of how to use everything. And this is just the first time he hasn't just straight like killed his garden for the most part. And last year it looked the same as it did this year in terms of canopy control. From my perspective, he has advanced nowhere. Go look at his year-old videos. They're the same thing. I post them up every week. I just don't want to hunt them down today. But he was this happy a year ago, and he's still missing 50% of his yield. And it doesn't have anything to do with tribbles. I don't know what he said. I don't know. It has to do with the fact that I'm looking at, in this picture, I am looking at more empty holes than full ones, burnt up, twisted, burnt to shit leaves. I mean, we are, right? I mean, you see those leaves right there, right? But don't worry about that. Don't worry about the empty spots either.
Look at these are A quality. No, this is just some.
So this is A quality. There is almost nowhere left to go in his universe. And I'm telling you, he's 50% off yield. There's almost nowhere to go. He has given himself an A, and I would have given him a B minus, because yield and quality go hand in hand. And when you get a B minus and you take a step up to an A, it's a huge leap. And I consider missing 50% of your yield to be a huge leap when you get it later. And of course, cutting your plant count down in half, lowering the whole canopy, and getting a higher quality of bud because they don't burn because they ran into the light.
Random genetic there. Alien tarantula, don't even know who it's bred by. I can tell you if I look. And it's still frozen. It's just
But those leaves are just so buttholio.
not something I would keep. But we also have another peanut butter brand, which is right here. The one that I'm not going to keep, but she's still fire. Look.
Looks like cherry pie.
And the nugs are big. Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at
not
that.
really. Not really.
That too.
Big nug.
Oh goodness. I just wish you guys could smell this.
We've all smelled bud. Here, you know what? Here, dude. If that's your thing, here you go.
This is gonna be the last night video. Then I will come at you guys with one more
Oh
video.
yeah. Yeah. It smells like it's about 50% empty.
Alright? You know, guys, what do you consider a cola? Do you consider this a cola?
I consider that about as close as you can be to a cola and having to ask. I consider these floppers because they're so small. See, a cola is not only a certain quantity of length of bud. They're all connected. And by concentrating the energy into the colas, you get a larger diameter bud. That's a cola. Otherwise, you just get spear buds. You just get the puppet buds. I mean, if you don't add a diameter and a length to it, any top bud would be a cola. So you have to grow a plant that's physically capable of making these larger diameter colas. And you don't get that in a plant that doesn't get bigger than the bucket, wider than the bucket. And you can't get it from a plant that doesn't get wider than the bucket. You can't do that from a plant that doesn't get wider than the bucket. You get this, which has been my argument from the beginning with this guy. This is what you should expect when you don't keep your canopy under control, because of one reason: the null space. If it's about converting light into sugar, and 30% of your canopy is up here, and 70% of your canopy is down here, you tell me you're in 2 gears at the same time. You did not take advantage of the one thing that you must do in an indoor grow, and it's control your canopy. And that's not even something I could sell him. You know what I'm saying? And he's just pleased as shit with what's going on in this tent, and rightly so. I mean, for him, it's the best thing he's ever done. For me, it looks exactly like where he was at last year, maybe with some smell because he killed him less. But he's 50% off where he should be. 50% off. You know what? Let me give you an example. Let me give you another example of what I mean by it is T5 haters say what? I think that's the name of this video. Okay. 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 See that top bud right there? It's just one bud. But just remind me, if the distance of the light is so important, and 80% of the canopy, 80% of the canopy is right, 85% is right here, 14% is right here, and 1% is right here. You tell me what's getting the right amount of light. Is this bud getting the right amount of light? Because if that bud is getting the right amount of light, you should immediately lower it into the bulk canopy, then raise the bulk canopy up into the light so 95% of your plant is getting the right amount of light. Now, if the bulk canopy down here is getting the right amount of light, then you should immediately lower this because it's going to burn up from too much light. Either way, either you're, look at this tip in this wide angle hood. Either you're in the zone or you're not in the zone of absorbing light. Soon as your canopy gets out of control, just tell me which one is right. And this is just one top. Homeboy here doesn't have any in the trellis. You're never going to get the colas unless 3 things happen. 1, you do a sea of green. That's how you get colas. That's a sea of green. There is no question that these are colas. Okay? The second one is you scrog the shit out of your plants, keep them super tight. That will give you this one and this. There is no null space between the buds. See how big the colas are? This is a scrog. The only last way to get buds that big is to grow monster plants, which isn't really an indoor thing. But you either do a sea of green, you scrog out a very wide, solid, super healthy veg plant, or you grow monster 36-inch veg plants and put them outside and they turn into 12-foot trees with buds this long on them. You know what I mean? But there's no way in any of these scenarios where you can do that when your plants are shitty and awful and overwatered and you're growing dirt, or they never go anywhere because those are 7 weeks old.
Hey guys, this is Ryan with Advanced Nutrients. We're out here with Sean of the Hydro Boys, and he's been killing the game for over 11 years in the hydro industry.
Okay, so that's killing it. That's not a cola. That was killing it.
Coming out here and taking a little
I appreciate you
tour of
having
our
us.
place. No, absolutely, I appreciate it too. We wanted to have you guys back out here.
Do you get this ominous feeling already?
The changes that we are seeing going back to using advanced nutrients once again. So
That's awesome. I love hearing how you started versus where you started.
inconsistency of the salts was the. I mean, I've used a few of the competitors' products, and the salt lines that they ran with the bags were messed up. The inconsistency of the salts was the.
So you'd see influxes.
Exactly. I've never had an inconsistency out of advanced ever.
I know 10,000 growers. I sell all the lines of nutrients. I have no idea what any of that meant. I don't know what the inconsistencies meant. In fact, fuck advanced nutrients. In the history of the hydro business in 10 years, I have seen 3 bottles of nutrient rock up. And listen, this was just left out in the sun, in the hot Vegas sun, so it was not advanced nutrients' fault. But here's the shape of the corner of a 6-gallon jug from a rocked up nutrient from a bottle of advanced. 6-gallon bottle of advanced. So, is that consistent? I can't tell. Is that inconsistent? Is this inconsistently consistent? Is this, I don't know. It wasn't, I'm not saying it's advanced nutrients' fault. I'm just saying, I have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. Inconsistent salts. Just remember, when you say inconsistent salt, when you say inconsistent salt, I just want to ask you again, if you could just do me a little favor here, and we'll take a look at this picture right here. And here's nitrogen right here, okay? Here's nitrogen right there. That's a salt, okay? It dissolves into ions in water. There's nitrogen right there, okay? And just below it is phosphorus, and here's potassium just on the other side. So there's your NPK right there, okay? What the fuck is inconsistent? If you have a ppm meter, when you mix it in, you know what ppm you're mixing it to. It doesn't matter if you got a 10-10-10, a 20-20-20, or a 5-5-5. They're proportionately at 2 times 5-5-5 is a 10-10-10. 1/2 20-20-20 is a 10-10-10. I don't know what the words mean. That they tell you things, and I don't know what the words mean. I don't know what that means.
I've used a few of the competitors' products, and the salt lines that they ran with the bags were messed up. The inconsistency of the salts was the.
So you'd see influxes.
Influxes. Like an onshore breeze. You'd see influxes.
Never had an inconsistency out of advanced ever.
I have never had a customer come to the store and tell me their nutrients were inconsistent.
To the workers, it's gonna work. You know what I mean? You got faith in this, and then next thing you know, you switch over to a competitor's product, and they still look like they're in bloom or in veg. To everyone is biting off a bigger chunk, and we're waiting for that drop of it.
Hydro Boy. Wow.
Come on in, come on in.
Come on in. You
They're
guys.
good toppers. I mean, those are long legs, right?
Alex from the Hydro Boy is one of the head growers over here.
That's the thing. It didn't get it wider than the bucket. They just let it grow straight into the trellis. When you let a plant grow straight into the trellis, there is no reason for it to ever get taller than this. Because if you let it grow straight up, you're going to have to do 15 or 20 plants per table. Once you do 15 or 20 plants per table, why are you vegging them? Just flower them so your canopy is 18 inches lower and you can save 3 or 4 weeks of veg. That's the whole point of it, being on a table.
Popularity, you know, the famous Mac everybody's heard of.
No, I don't.
For $4,000 a pack, and the price went down. And you know, we did our best to stay up in that market. And
So as we wrap things up over here at the Hydro Boys, I just want to extend.
I just, again, if this is the...
and the price went down. And you know, we did our best to stay up in that market. And advance was what made people pay more for our product. And
Okay, I don't, listen, I've never heard that. I mean, I hear people say that all the time. Okay, I just want to point out that their canopy is all in their buds are all in the canopy versus Prodigy, who's just all over the place. Okay, first off, they're all in the canopy. Second off, these guys have a tremendous amount of leg. Am I wrong here? I mean, the longer the leg, the longer the veg. The longer the leg, the longer the veg. I mean, you're not in hydro because you want a veg big plant, right? I mean, this guy right here, this guy right here, this guy right here had less than a 21-day veg. It was closer to 14 than 21 days. Notice no leg. What do you think it is? Oh. Less than 3 weeks. Look at the size of the plant. Whatever. I mean, everyone keeps telling me it's always the best, and every time we look at the bud, it looks like fucking bud. I mean, if this is the best, that's it. Why aren't they claiming their $500? All you have to do is go to the Grow Boss, click on challenges, click on $500 challenges here, and just prove to me that's the best bud. I mean, just prove to me that's the best bud. What's the confusion here? Tell me whatever you want. You can believe whatever you want to believe. Don't care about any of it. We're going to show you what a good plant done properly in a similar situation to whatever the people are telling us is important. Because if we go over here to this guy, oh, Mike, I see you, Mike. But if we go over here to, wow. Okay, but that's not what, nice. If we go over here to, I bet that shit's just going to explode. This guy, what a chump. Telling us all about how he's a winning. He's a winning. He's been a winning for a long time, Girl Boss. And yet all I see is burnt. And floor and bucket and wall. And probably the most obnoxious thing is tiny ass plants in DWC buckets. You know how awful a grower you must be to get a tiny plant in a DWC bucket? But whatever. I mean, he doesn't have colas. I mean, Prodigy is doing better than this guy, but you talk to this guy, oh, he's the man. He's the man. I mean, he's the man. There's no branches. His plants are awful, and he's not going to get any buds, and everything looks burnt up. But if you don't focus on that, if you don't focus on that, and instead you focus on the fact that he gets no buds, and that the buds that he does get are tiny, and then you focus on the fact that he's in hydro and he doesn't have any buds, maybe what we could focus on is the plant doesn't look purple. I mean, he's 98% short on yield, but his plant doesn't look purple. Maybe that. Maybe we can focus on that. Now, it makes it kind of hard to focus on the bud when all you see is the floor. It makes it kind of hard to focus on the good stuff, Captain Save-A-Clone. You really know how to make it difficult. I'm trying to work with you here. But when you post up a picture like this, I mean, listen, I know Grow Prodigy would happily argue that these are all colas, and I'm sure you welcome the support. But you are 99% shy of what's possible. And that's not even the worst part. Is always the same thing. You refuse to believe this is anything other than a win. It's painful. It's painful. Every weekend I leave the show and I just hate you guys so very much. All right, now let's take a look at Mike, because Mike's been asking me to look at his. Mike's been asking. What's so funny?
The mister is working so good today. There's no wind. It's just
Oh.
the soil's cool. Everything is.
Can we see it in the camera?
You gotta go out and experience it. The asphalt's wet on the ground in front of the whole front of the stand out there. That's how good it's working. It's keeping everything cool. In fact, I'm gonna go back out there and hang out. It's the place to be. It's like working so good.
wasn't. Okay, I gotta work on the mic because the mic out there always worked before. Okay. Yeah, it's a good looking plant. Good looking canopy. Oh, it's got a little Grow Boss something or other on there. Oh, Grow Boss and in my around back in my grow tent. What is it? Oh, welcome to the grow tent.
Sorry, Edward, you have to pull in and back up. We apologize. Some guys just commented he was here this morning.
Oh, I'm having sign made with an arrow that says parking and everything. They're
How to explain it?
what?
How to explain parking back there? Because this one's saying, we had to pull up and then we had to back out, they say.
Yeah.
See the comment?
No, I did not see the comment, but yeah, it is an inconvenience.
But the misters kept you cool while you were here, right?
Yeah, they're good looking plants. I mean, it's a good looking plant. Good looking plants. Bigger than the bucket, short, wide, edge to edge in the canopy. It's a good looking garden. Ooh, that's a big bucket.
We never get more than 2 cars.
And that plant is now overwatered. So whatever you did into here, this plant is now overwatered and it's mushroom topping. And this is why you must go, this is why I tell you guys, you always have to include, in fact, I wonder if these are different plants in a different tent now. That's why you always have to include a side shot. Because these leaves look face up. That one right there is instantaneously bad and overwatered. Bad plant. Doesn't get bigger than the bucket. Right there, if you look right there, it doesn't get bigger than the bucket. It should have been trellised. This guy's ridiculous. Saviclone's ridiculous. Yeah, that's overwatered. But then, hey, as soon as we saw the size of the bucket, who knew that was coming? I don't know if this plant... I don't know if this plant is this plant right here. Things seem to have been moved around, but that plant in the back should have just been transplanted into a 3-gallon bucket, and it should have been shaped up. You're a month away from where you're supposed to be. That is overwatered and never got bigger than the bucket. You can see the chicken claws, the speed bumps in the leaves, the purpling at the top where the light is. Classic overwatering. And it's not dramatic overwatering. It is more of a slight chronic overwatering where you get this dome shape, but the branches fail to grow vertically, and when they do grow, there's a far space between the nodes and there's no side branching on the stalk. They get this fat shape, this swollen water retaining shape. That's just funny because they don't fill up the canopy. I mean, you can have roots, but you get this thing's got to be 2.5 months old. It's got to be 10 weeks old. Very purple. They're overwatered and crispy, and they don't really go anywhere. They don't really branch out. I keep them in solo cups till they're almost tipping over. Yeah, I mean, if you grow them too tall, I mean, if you want to put them in... Yeah, does anybody who grows tall plants, that doesn't branch them out? I'm looking for...
You're looking for the legs?
No, yeah. Oh, the leg one too. I was looking for this one. I was looking for this one. Yeah, I mean, if you grow them too tall with no branches, yeah, of course they're gonna fall over. But when you do something like, instead of, okay, so I need that. But when you do something like this, you do something like that, sure, it's going to fall over. But you do something like that, dude, you can put a lot of plant in a little solo cut.
Is that from seed or clone?
Clone.
It's a nice clone you cut from the mother.
Yeah, and if you follow this guy, if you follow this guy, he does a pretty good job of it. And I mean, he's being a little bit obnoxious with just how good of a job he's doing, but you have to see the point of starting something with branches like that real low down in terms of how you're going to end up with bigger, healthier plants later on. I mean, he's still under a light that costs $2 a month. That is a huge plant for that one bucket. That is a guy who grew a plant that was bigger than the bucket. Yeah, right here you just LST this, and you just take those like 8 branches and you clock them out. Yeah, you know, here you go. Another big, bushy, bright, ready to grow, healthy, multi-branched plant, right, with no signs of overwatering. And soon as he LSTs that, it'll be bigger than a 3-gallon bucket. Ooh, this is 10 months ago. Not so much. It looks like the cotton candy. You know where you get the stick on the bottom and then it's not quite a Serengeti, it gets you like the beehive, you get the cotton candy. You know what I'm talking about? Like when Shrek like grabbed up all those bugs for Fiona in the spider web and he made a little cotton candy thing for her, like that. Not quite a Serengeti, but definitely a cotton candy. This is 10 months ago. There's his cotton candy 10 months ago. Look at motherfucker. Look at this. Look at same cups, probably the same light. I guess he must have switched his nutrients. See how I brought that back from Prodigy earlier? See how I brought that forward?
There's more soil in these cups than those.
There's more soil in these 3?
And all the way to the top,
Yeah.
those are halfway filled.
Yeah. That's true too. Yeah. I mean, you have to see my point, right? I mean, you can be a right fighter all you want, but eventually, what would you rather start? This or this? And this guy did both of these. This is the same guy. I mean, so, you know, I'm just saying. There's, oh, I don't, did I lose him? Did I lose Prodigy? Oh, yeah, I lost Prodigy. Okay.
I was just gonna ask you about that right there.
What? Oh, your
T5 Dan.
T5 Dan. I was just looking at that.
I was just gonna ask you right now. What did I say, man?
I was using that example because that top bud.
I didn't even know. That's weird. It's one of the very first videos.
Yeah. Yeah. That was probably my first sponsored video.
If that video was still on YouTube,
It is.
well, no, I know. When it was originally up to the original views before it got taken away, didn't it all get taken down?
Oh, yeah, it all got taken
We had
down.
to start over
You
again.
gotta start opening over.
I bet we did 1 million views probably.
Oh, yeah.
On
I
that.
had several videos approaching and one already did.
Right. Heck, YouTube, what were they thinking? What a bunch of morons. You could advertise money off this. Because people, don't they advertise or on your videos if they have so many views or?
Yeah, but I don't sell advertising anymore.
Well, I
what really the problem was sales are a function. Sales were exclusively a function of YouTube. I didn't have a website that I have now, so I got the website back, had the back surgeries, and then I got the YouTube channel back, had the back surgeries, then built a website. Bill O'Brien, let me make this observation for you. Everything is an excuse. There's only one thing that isn't an excuse, isn't there? And then everything else is excuses to varying degrees. Oh, I got sick. Oh, I'm just experimenting. Oh, I'm just trying something. Oh, I got some secret I'm experimenting on. Meanwhile, you got a grower who kills every crop, has no idea how to grow, and just, you know what I mean? Just arbitrarily assigns all failure to everything else and all success to everything else as well. Failing growers that meet with any success think it's about the products. That's why they keep switching products. I mean, think about how long you've been failing before you blame vapor pressure differential. Usually you've been failing for 18 months at that point because you've gone through every system, all the nutrients. You've done soil, cocoa, hydro. You've done powdered nutrients. You've done 3 different lights in 5 different configurations. Oh, I don't care if you do a scrog or sea of green for colas. The colas won't change, just your plant count and veg time will. But yields based on light. Yields based on light. So I don't care what plant shape you grow. Yields based on light. If you have a shorter space and you want a higher plant count, do a sea of green. But yields based on light. So don't confuse anything. And there's no nutrient. There's no nothing. All you can do is maximize the potential of your light. That's it. Now all you can do is maximize the potential of your light. Once you have maximized the potential of your light, and you've done it 3 times in a row, so you're like, fuck, I don't think I can get any more. Once you've done that, then you can tell me whatever the fuck you want. And I'll listen, maybe. But I'll at least respect what you have to say. I'll at least listen. I might not do either. But until you get maximum yield from your light, because remember, light, water, CO2 equals sugar and oxygen. Nowhere in this equation do nutrients, your hopes and dreams, marketing, your friend's secret sauce, nowhere does any of that come into the equation. Using light for energy, plants convert water and CO2 into sugar and oxygen. They use that sugar for all sorts of things inside their plant bodies, and then the oxygen they release is a byproduct of metabolic waste.
Not even a super soil does it?
No, not even. Maybe if you used ocean forest and you're getting 2 pounds from 1,000 watt on a mover, and you've done that 3 or 4 times, and then you switch to super soil, maybe you might get more. But remember, you're playing an option. The option that you're playing is that you could get more, the same, or less. What happens if whatever strain you have, I've got the cherry butthole, you know what I mean? Gonorrhea. Whatever strain you have, if you think, oh my God, it's so specific, I got to learn how to do this strain, then how could you possibly know anything about what nutrient? Maybe it needs 10 times as much. Maybe it needs 1/10 as much. Maybe it needs exactly the same as cherry butthole pie. What I'm getting at is, if these details were so significant and there's so many details, it would be like a Rubik's Cube and you could never figure out the combination. And all I'm telling you is that as soon as you make it into a puzzle, you can't do this. It doesn't work when you add too many factors in. It doesn't work. Until you get the basics right of converting light into sugar, none of the other stuff matters. Genetics don't even matter. That's why I tell you, genetics is the most worthless thing in the scheme of growing weed. It is the most overhyped, worthless thing. I mean, here's 3 bags. Could you tell me the genetics from this side of them? Could you tell me, well, look at this side. Could you tell me how they were grown, what they were grown in? Soil, cocoa, hydro, LED, this nutrient, that nutrient, your secret, their secret, your friend's secret sauce? You tell me. You make so many variables that eventually you're a Lincoln Navigator with a 10-speed transmission that I rented, and it's always looking for gears. You can't even drive the fucking thing. Oh, it's so sciencey. You guys suck so bad. And it's not just you guys. There is a wave of you every day. There's new customers at the store asking the same silly questions because you all got the same silly information. It's not your fault. I understand. It's not your fault. Don't confuse me teasing you with disrespecting you, because you were put in the position you're in based on everybody before me. But that doesn't, I'm not just going to not make fun of you. Absolutely not. Listen, if the show was $20 a person, you know what I mean? Like, we would have a different discussion. But this show is free, so eat dick. You know what I'm saying? We're here. This is one-way communication. A good butthole strain. Remember, if you kill your plant, and we've been doing this for a long time, if 99% of you kill your plants, what does the strain matter? I mean, that's really like the extra fuck you know what I'm saying? Like the extra really stick it, really make you fucking take it. You know, and in my book, The Grow Book and Equipment Guide, I tell you the story. You overwater, you rot the roots, the plant starts to purple, you think it's a mag deficiency, you start adding mag to it, now it's got too much mag because the problem was in the roots, and your lights were too close because you never backed them off after the plant was sick, and they were too close to start with because your lights were always too close. And then you keep adding nutrients until you burn your plant up with too many nutrients because you think there was a nutrient deficiency. Like, you've been feeding mag and mag and mag and it doesn't solve the problem. Like, the plant needs like 150 mag and you're like 200, 300. You're just pumping her full of mag. I did it too. All I'm saying is there are so many obstacles to growing. You guys have put so many obstacles in your way because you all fail so miserably. And then you just are like, oh, Prodigy is telling everybody that's a win. It's a miss by 50%. See me double pack that bowl? Because I missed the cover earlier when I you know what I mean? Japan is sending PS5S. Listen, I'll tell you a little secret about China and Japan, okay? I'm going to tell you a secret about China. And I don't know if anybody really realizes this. China doesn't want America. China wants Africa. China can always come here to play, but Africa is the continent with all the minerals. China wants Africa. They've been investing in Africa for billions for a couple of decades now. infrastructure.
They also have a gnarly telescope in Mexico. They paid the Mexico government all kinds of money to set some weird badass telescope over there. Their excuse says to guide their satellites somehow.
See, this is my opinion of China. A couple of years ago, about 10 years ago, we saw Haiti dumping refugees in boats over to Italy. Remember that? There were hundreds of thousands of refugees. Remember that? Coming in boats. There is 1.4 billion people in China, and I think they own all the shipping boats, and they don't mind living packed together like sardines. So what I think is going to happen next is the Chinese are going to start packing their shipping boats, and then they're just going to start launching them to Africa. The front door will open up, blah, and they will just start Chinatown in Africa, which I'm sure is already there, and then they're going to, and even if you took, there's 350 million people in the United States, even if you took 350 million from China and put them in Africa, there would still be 1.1 billion people in China. They could do that to 3 continents. It would be like, dude, let me tell you, let me give you an example. Do you guys remember this game Risk? Remember how you would take your little characters and you'd build them on your little piles, and then you'd like protect Australia or something, and then you'd go forth and you'd defend your fortresses? Okay. China could send 350 million ninjas to the United States. They could send 350 million ninjas to Africa, and they would still have 700 million ninjas. Yeah, 700 million ninjas in China. Okay? All of their ceilings are like 5 feet tall. They're small, right? But hey, the people are small. So 10 stories in China, it's like, it's like one Godzilla. You know what I mean? It's not like 10 stories in America where there's 3 feet of ceiling. Okay. So their ceilings are small. They have a tremendous amount of people. If they start shipping to other shores, just like in the game of Risk, they build up all their people right at the shore of China, put them on little boats, and then ship them like Haitian shipped refugees over to Africa. Dude, they fucking win.
Hope they're not listening to the show.
Oh, now they know I know?
Now they know. Well, yeah. They're going to come after you. You just let out the secret.
I'm just firmly convinced that China's just going to do something somewhere. I mean, why wouldn't they? They've got every flu starts over there. If people are leaving New York for the suburbs, cities for the suburbs, China has to want to leave China. I mean, they're leaving the city for the suburbs. China's 1.4 billion, you know what I mean? Like it in town size like Springfield. You know what I mean? Like tiny.
Springfield?
Yeah, just Springfield. Just some small ass tiny little town.
Right.
And it'll free up a whole bunch of space in China. Maybe they could do 6-foot ceilings. Deluxe living. Now, just understand that China is the Muslims of the business world. Because currently the Muslims are on the underwear protocol, the underwear gnomes protocol. We have oil. Stage 2, profit. Stage 3, right? There is no, there's no oil. There is no, oh, listen, we're still answering, support calls. Hello, QuickBooks, can I help you? So, there is no, it's like Las Vegas. There is no fallback. Oh.
There we have confirmation of deployment of the 4 main parachutes.
Yes.
Visual on 4 shoots out. We are visual. 4 main parachutes deployed.
Oh, if it just transformed into a Tesla.
The size of those shoes.
So at this point, the main parachutes have deployed.
Thanks.
They are inflating, as you can see there on your screen, continuing to slow dragging down significantly.
Because that's how a parachute works. Oh,
We are anticipating splashdown in just under 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
I need.
We've already slowed the vehicle down to about 16 miles an hour. It's already less than a kilometer in altitude.
Inside shot. Give us a mountain range, something in perspective. Put the moon behind it. A Coke bottle.
Main chute descent rate nominal, passing through 700 meters.
Oh, he's climbing out of the top.
At this point, Dragon has saved all propulsion systems on
600
board.
meters.
600 meters.
They're gonna surprise you. There's 4 guys in there. They're each gonna grab each chute and then jump out with each parachute.
Dude, that's brilliant.
That'd be awesome.
They're brilliant.
Be approximately a minute 30 from splashdown.
Shouldn't there be a helicopter with a hook scooping them up?
Has reported the precise landing coordinates to the recovery team.
Elon still, he says, not till that thing's in the water and everything's safe, that you relax. Right now, he's still.
Yeah. Yeah, because the parachute, somebody could sneeze and pull the parachute release button, and it just falls. Why do we even have that button?
It's passed about 300 meters. 1 minute.
See, tell me why the parachutes are separating. Oh, they're in the clouds. There we go. There we go.
Gonna be braced for splashdown.
Oh my God, transform into a Tesla boat.
So there we heard Bob reporting that they are bracing for splashdown. We should be able to see the Gulf of Mexico here in the shot just momentarily.
Sure, the
As
rescue
they're now
boat's
just
heading
about
right out
20
toward it
meters
right now.
off the ocean.
Dude, he brought him up and down.
There's the boat.
Up and down.
As you can see on your screen, we have visual confirmation for splashdown.
Oh.
Look at those shoots. That is so cool.
SpaceX copies
I love the boat. I want that picture.
Unfortunately, 3 rescue divers died getting trapped in the parachute material.
NASA astronauts Bob and Doug
the SpaceX and NASA
Up
teams
and down.
back to planet Earth.
Up
Performance
and
SpaceX.
down.
Do you have Skype on today?
No.
No.
Why?
there's no Skype on. This guy wants to call in for the show.
No, because I had a problem with the mic.
Yeah, there's something wrong with the microphone.
Let me, what's the question?
Oh, did you have a question for him? Hello? You have a question for the robot?
Thanks for those words, Doug. And we copy
Are you good there, or?
into 4.800.
So great news all around there. Our space dads are back on Earth after a 19-hour return journey from
What happened? That was a weird ending. All right, well, up and down, Chuck. Up and down. He took them up and down. Remember them on the way up in their little board, tapping on the little board like they were actually doing something, but they weren't? Yeah. Oh, dude, up and down. God damn.
We went up, we connected with the space station, clicked on and opened the hatch. That's awesome.
Crazy, up and down.
It almost didn't happen when Elon was first trying these rockets. Remember the phases? The
Sure.
three of them.
And he had to sue them to get the contract.
3 in a row. It almost. He kept going though. He said, no, it's going to happen.
He has 2 main things that he does: reusable equipment and liquid fueled 30 minutes before launch. They don't they don't store it in the thing longer than that. Super cool. Super cooled rocket fuel. Those seem to be his 2 things. Reusable, obviously the big one, and then the super cool rocket makes things more reusable as well. Oh, that's still overwatered.
Oh, it hasn't fixed itself.
No, it hasn't fixed itself. Okay, what, where are we at? Because... Yes, I can give you more tips on growing. There's 1,000 4-hour videos on YouTube. You can watch them all. Just pretend like it's live. Bob and Doug are back for a few beers, eh? Oh, yeah. Yeah. A couple of cold ones, eh? I don't know if SpaceX translates into Tesla in that way. Although I will say that Tesla is everything in the future bigger than Amazon, because Tesla can put the satellite data into the window on whatever vehicle in whatever space you're in. It does not have to be a vehicle. They may do power storage and all that, but the reality is it's that Tesla can project data from a satellite anywhere into anything. So at some point, when you're driving a Tesla car, it will know everything about where you are based on not only the satellite data of your car, but of all the other cars that have traveled that. It will be able to take an aggregate of the spaghetti of the travel path of cars and document every road on the entire planet. That is the algorithm it will use to steer your car. How you interact with other cars will all be an algorithm based on the ground that interacts with a network that plugs into the cars. Even that doesn't compare to being able to have that same information brought into your house so you can look at your car with an app from your house vid screen, and you'll be able to touch screen, because we do that now, and you'll be able to find out if your kids are in the cars, and you'll do it straight like the Minority Report. In fact, you'll probably just do it with Alexa. Hey Alexa, pull up, where's the car?
Satellite will tell you the kid's got a dirty diaper in the back seat or not.
Dirty diaper in the back seat.
He just soiled the diaper.
That connection is the money. And the connection, and there may be several products of it that he owns to connect them, but that's what's required to have that complete connection on the planet, is the satellite trains that he's putting in space. So you're going to see Amazon do the same thing too. Amazon's rocket, Bezos's rocket, has always been directed toward low Earth orbit. It was always a LEO. It was always meant to bring people up, do the experience, and come back down. Musk was always designing them to bring payloads into space. Day one, payloads into space. And reuse the rocket systems. Big difference, because now that he has payloads into space, all he has to do is build his own rockets. Dude, if you look in all my books are filled with my own advertising. All he does is send up his own rockets with his own payloads. Duh. And it's still cheaper than doing it with NASA or anything else. Did he have to build a company to do it? Yeah. Well, there's that. And again, oh no, your Tesla puts. Again, don't forget. And I had this conversation with literally my best friend last night. I had 3 hours on the phone with this guy over the same argument last night. And that is, what is the value of time? Because you guys are putting up things that say, bet against them. Things go up and down in prices, and you guys don't put a time value on it.
Oh, no. Here, hold on 1 second. The guy that just called?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he wants to ask you a question.
This is Grow Boss.
Sorry.
Hi. What's Maximum Yield, a magazine? Okay? So, I don't understand the question. You're using the Maximum Yield magazine for what? Oh, okay. The right method for the right strain? That's funny. We were just talking about that because, I mean, if there was a right method for the strain, wouldn't there have to be a right nutrient? And a right soil? And a right... Who's they? Maximum Yield? Who's they? Maximum Yield? Well, Maximum Yield is a magazine who hires editors and purchases articles. So when you say things like they, I mean, Maximum Yield has Snoop Dogg in it. So is Maximum Yield a grower, or is Snoop Dogg the grower that's in the magazine? Right, so there's somebody who wrote an article that Maximum Yield maybe worked for them, or maybe they bought it because they're a monthly magazine. Right, okay. I see. So Maximum... So basically what it's telling you is that everything is a big factor. Okay. So the question is, if everything is a big factor, then they're all the same factor, because relative to each other, they're all the same. If they're all big, then big is normal. So I don't know sure. I mean, I suppose media can be a big factor, but if your light's too close to the media matter, okay. Okay. Sure. No, I've never heard about flux. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Wait, hang on a sec. You're not on the show, and I'm actually doing a webcast, and you're reading to me from a magazine. So enjoy the web. You know what? I'm not going to turn on Skype today because it's just going to be a fucking problem. Okay, what would you like to point out? Well, you should probably know what I'm going to say, because you're not about to tell me anything new. Because Maximum Yield, let's be clear, Maximum Yield and High Times have been publishing magazines for 20 years. I wrote one book, and then I've never had to rewrite it, because it's the same information over and over. So think about it like every car magazine. I used to have a 5.0 Mustang, and I got a 2-year subscription. And what I noticed was at the end of 13 months, the articles were the same. Okay? So you don't need to read me an article. There isn't a magazine that's not a journal that doesn't come up with new things. And that whole list of shaping a plant, you came up with the word flux. Otherwise, everything else was old news. So, okay, what's the one little part? Okay. Okay, stop. I don't have any idea about the number. Yeah, I don't have any idea about the number. Let me just tell you this. Yield's based on light. There you go. Whatever formula you choose to apply, yield's based on light. Otherwise, why do you buy a light, right? Okay. All right, I appreciate the call. That was Canada calling, reading me an article about trying to cite me that Maximum Yield talks about how soil is such a critical component. Dude, if nothing was critical, what would they write about? And if everything is critical, then nothing is critical. There is no situation where the details matter. Look at this bud. Can you tell me what system it was grown in, what media it was grown with, or what nutrients were used? That's why I don't give a shit when you tell me about product. I don't give a shit when you tell me about media. I don't give a shit when you read to me what other people are saying. You tell me how this bud was grown and what ppm and what nutrient brand and which, not just cocoa, which cocoa. Because you dickweeds call my store. You got Coco Loco? You got Canna Coco? You got a cocoa that doesn't come from a coconut? No. Do you have a cocoa that doesn't come from a coconut that's in a bag with 3 numbers and 7 letters in the name?
And wash 3 times.
Oh, and wash 3 times. Dude. I was literally talking with one of my best friends last night about the price, the value of time. Because when I tell you guys about starting shitty clones and it can't ever go better, you are starting off from a poor assumption where then the best thing, my favorite thing you guys do is go, yo, I'm gonna prove the grow boss wrong. Good, go eat a dick, prove me wrong. Listen, you go raise that plant and get a yield. But the guys who start off with a healthy plant and never have to prove me wrong have an easier time of it. Okay, let's listen. I love Maximum Yield's brilliant. I just love to beat the shit out of Maximum Yield. There is nothing more. Look.
Go to Fiverr.com and find one in seconds. Or don't go to Fiverr and waste your time searching for freelance.
Maximum Yield says these chants are good for your garden. That was the links posted up on the chat. Dude, the monks do this shit. They used to do it on Sundays next door, where they would gather and they would chant. And they would do that, they would do this, and the walls would vibrate. The walls would vibrate. Is super cropping bad in week 1 of flower? No, but it's not good either. How do I know if your plant even needs to be super cropped? See, here's the thing. There's no recipe. You have to understand. You can't ask for a recipe. There's no recipe. You have to feel your way through. I can't tell you. It's important to understand the ideas, the concepts. There is no one way. It's fluid. And some fool in Canada is not going to call me up and try to prove me wrong by reading an article from Canada. I'm sure he's a nice guy because he's Cameron in Canada is a nice guy. All I'm telling you is this. This is all I'm telling you about the trade-offs that you have to make with time. And it doesn't matter if you're playing options in the stock market or you're betting the next 12 weeks on a shitty clone's gonna come back and prove the grow boss wrong. Neither one of I don't care. But the thing you have to understand is that back in January, when we first looked at the coronavirus mapping, and I told you that the United States is spread out in a way, and that the coronavirus has to ping pong. Either nobody has it, or everybody has it, or we stop all flights and any kind of interaction between continents, and everybody deals with it until it's over. But there's 100 scenarios where things don't go well. And there's only the one magic scenario where things do go well, and then it's somehow politicized. The virus solution's already out. The vaccine's already out there. They're going to release it for the election, or the whole thing is a hoax, and it'll go away with the election. Therefore, by November, the virus should be over, and things will ramp up. Now, here's the thing. If you believe that philosophy, and that come November, that the vaccine will be released or the corona will go away, and if the vaccine is released, it takes time to release the vaccine. It takes time to change the narrative of the news. So let's say it takes 3 months to get the vaccine or change the narrative. Okay, so we've got December, end of the news cycle for the election, end of November, December, the holidays. Now we start January, February, March. So by the end of March, the news cycle has changed, and people are going to start, coming back to work. Okay, now, it takes time to hire people back to work. Even if it's super fast, you still need a drug test. You still need to be qualified for the job, whatever. So what, 3 months to hire everybody back? Okay, now everybody's back at work, and they've just started paying their bills. How long does it take to pay off all your bills before you start flying around again? Okay, 3 more months. So now 3 more months, everybody's going to start flying around. In that 3 months, the same 3 months, however, all of the hotels here in Vegas would have to have all of the restaurants come back. It takes 3 months to build them into the restaurant. If you put all those 3 months together, it's about a year. So if the virus is a hoax or the election solves the problem, there's still 1 more year before all the restaurants have come to Las Vegas and everybody is caught up on their debt. And now we can just fly to Las Vegas and go to the trade shows again at least 85%. Now, it seems to me like there's a lot more scenarios where that doesn't happen. But that's the time frame, because that's 24 months since January when I started telling you it's 18 months minimum if we do a good job. So if anything goes wrong and it takes longer, the thing is, and this is the thing that I'm betting on, even if it takes longer, the price, and even if it takes longer for the problem to happen, people will realize the problem in the shorter tense. So the options that I played are from 30 days to 9 months to 1 year out. Those are the bulk options. Some I have 2 and 3 years out. Some I have 2 weeks and 4 weeks out. But the bulk of them are 3 months to 3 to 12 months out. That's the bulk of the options in the first round. Because you're also betting on time. Because the further out you can go, the lower you can get the price for. Volatility increases, and those kinds of things, no jobs to go back to. I can't imagine one scenario, and that was my friend's scenario. The whole thing's politicized. It's either a hoax or the news cycle changes, and everything changes with the presidency because the Democrats caused the problem to make the president look bad, but by opening up Pandora's box and causing the problem, it got way worse than they ever intended it to be. And that the president is playing into the position of victim. Okay. None of those things sound like a winning strategy to me. So, I just remember what Warren Buffett said. Bet on management. Or against them in this case. You can't make the vaccine mandatory. How the fuck would you round people up? Could you imagine all of the protests we have now? And then you're going to try to give somebody a vaccine? You'd have to shoot them with a blow dart while they were out shopping with no face mask on. You know what I mean? Oh, motherfuckers vaccinated me.
Government would have like SWAT vehicles, guys hanging off the back and running around shooting darts at people.
Yeah. The dart Gatling gun. The dart vaccination gun. Dude, could you imagine the problem if you tried to run up on somebody and vaccinate them, like 4 people of you to hold them down.
You got to deal with the homeless too. You got to round them up. They'll fight each other living in.
Oh my God.
Those quads, you trying to touch them.
Oh, listen, you think they're hiring contract tracers? They're going to get Chuck as a vaccine disseminator with his blow dart that he's been practicing. Chuck's
I'll be all camouflage.
oh my God, Fallbrook bong toking team captain over here.
There could be job openings for me. We need a blowgun. Might have to go get the assassin blowgun.
Oh, like it's got like a harmonica?
It's 2 feet long.
You blow into a tube?
Pull it out your sleeve.
It shoots like 12 little darts with one big breath.
There was a guy in New York shooting women in the back of the legs, down the street. They finally caught him. I remember that years ago. It was awesome. He was shooting little darts in the back of ladies' calves, dresses.
That's crazy. That's some sort of weird kind of fetish.
You know, there's hundreds of people on the sidewalk. That was, of course.
Did he do it with his mouth, or did he have like some sort of squeeze puff
He
release?
had a little blowgun.
That's crazy.
I mean, you don't have to use a big blow. You can use a straw and make little
Yeah,
darts.
yeah, little spit wads.
Yeah, make little mini darts and just stick in the back of the ladies'
A Merv blow dart. It's a multiple warhead. It's a multiple virus. It's a multiple injection release virus. I'm trying to. Anyway.
Wow.
So I'm betting Vegas goes down. I personally think Vegas. I can't imagine Vegas staying in business. Because I know what happens. I can tell you what happens next. I've been telling you guys all along. I can tell you what happens over the next 6 to 18 months. What?
I was gonna pull up. They always have that Vegas live stream down on the strip, down on the camera on the Vegas strip on the sidewalk, and I looked at it yesterday, and there's still nobody in Vegas. It's just, it's quiet. Any Las Vegas live streaming is up there.
Okay, wait. Here we go. That's because they're all hiding in this neon thing's ass on the left. There's all. Do I have to pay? Do I have to choose? Oh, do I have different? Oh, Legion Stadium. Do I have different? Can I just want to see. These are. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, there we go. There we go.
I don't see anybody on the sidewalk.
Oh, there you go.
Well, that's down by
That's the sign. Dude, that sign, there's probably packed right there on that sign. This is the Las Vegas sign cam right here.
one guy there. That one person.
That chick, yeah. 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 Couple people right over here.
Nobody's heading south, out of town.
This is, south is the left. They're only coming out of town. The one on the right's north, I'm guessing. You would see the sign on the way into town. That would be north on the strip. Vegas about to become a
One
bear.
of them says welcome, and the other one says thank you for visiting, I think.
Oh, so you're saying that this little green thing on the other side says thank you for visiting? Dude, that's so fucking smart.
What's that one say on the
This
side?
says welcome.
Yeah, so you're right. There you go. And the other one says thank you for visiting Vegas.
Dude.
So we narrowed that down.
Alright, so there's some people there. Fremont Street. Maybe we got a little thing on Fremont Street. But somebody noticed it said ped trafficking. So like someone noticed the sign said ped traffic. There's Fremont Street. All right. Prostitution vacations will be a cherished thing of the past. disagree about your prostitute assessment. I think they have those shower curtain hug things, and that you could get a glory hole shower curtain blowjob. That's my new strategy. Glory hole shower curtain blowjob curtain. That's my new product. Bring Vegas prostitution back. Okay, let's go. So Fremont Street sucks, right? Because today's Sunday. So Fremont Street bites it.
I don't see Vegas coming back with that kind of people on the street.
I don't see Vegas coming back with the hot chicks in the little outfits that you take pictures with and with masks on. Even if their masks match their big bottoms. I just don't see White. Is that White Castle? Dude. They don't have gluten-free buns, but I'd go to White Castle.
That's where I tried my very first deep fried Oreo.
It was delicious.
I never had anything like that. I'm glad it's that. One place I
It was they had it at Mermaids, right there on Main Street. I would back my ambulance right back up to it, and we'd sit on the back of my ambulance, and we'd watch all the people on Fremont Street. Another boss catches his employees smoking pot on the job and just smiles. Yeah, you have to fail your drug test to work here. That dude seems super tall. Okay. Now I just want to point out that Vegas is running at 30 to 50% occupancy, they said, and I don't believe it. I believe 30% is super high estimate. So there's no more Cirque, there's no more buffets, there's no more listen, the only way there's only a couple solutions out of the coronavirus as far as I can tell. And all of them involve 25% of the population, which is why even if China sent 25% of their population away, it would just be better because they'd be less dense. But 25% of the population has to die. Not from the coronavirus, because we stopped the car. The car is a metaphor for the economic engine. The economic engine is a metaphor for GDP, right? God damn. So this is Earth Cam. It says it right there. So, and I think that we're going to have an alien landing during the corona. That's what would really fuck us over. You know what I mean? That really. So. They'd be like, so this is Earth, huh? Oh.
Is that inside?
Yeah, I would assume so. Tone G, see, I think you could change the tone of your language to project into the future. The economy is not looking bad right now. The economy is looking bad in the near future. Right now, everyone's like, dude, all the rich kids are on boats in Florida. There's people driving on the street. So what are we doing with this cam now? Just like the janitor will come through. I'm just saying that right now we are ripe for an alien, and that may be very well what it takes. Even if the aliens came down and spread the vaccine for us, we would still have to move the restaurants that went out of business back into the Las Vegas hotels. And then people would still have to come back. I mean, it just takes time to ramp it up. God damn it.
These aliens be more superior than us?
I would imagine they would have to have anti-gravity to land. I would imagine they're the ones that are sucking off the sun in the coronavirus for the energy.
To take over us? I mean, to take over?
Not necessarily. I don't know.
Mingle with us and blend in and maybe take some of us back.
It could go in all sorts of those directions.
Yeah, we don't know.
It could go in any of those directions. They could mingle. They could want to take over. They could do any of those things.
They would already be here.
Oh, Elon Musk is trying to get home. They left him here like E.T. And in no scenario has one person even said, okay, that's what we're hoping for. Now we're going to back it down 33% and we're going to shoot for that. So everybody has set the bar unimaginably high. Unimaginably high. Unimaginably high. All I'm betting is it takes a while. All I'm betting is that Vegas is the last thing to come back. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm betting my money on. Is Vegas is the last thing to come back. The same way when I roll on a patient as a paramedic, the sicker they are, the more aggressive I am about my initial treatment. You put that work in up front and hope you can back off at the end. The real Elvis is out marrying couples in Vegas. Woo! Lake Tahoe. God, that's got to be nice. Oklahoma. What other nonsense can we watch? Like, because you know what the problem here is. I've been in Vegas for a long time. You know what the problem here is? The problem is that there's no one unified effort. If there is, without a unified effort. See, if you look at these buildings and you go, listen, I'll tell you how the virus works, okay? It's simple, and I'm just going to tell you how it's always worked in the past, but I'm just going to put it into perspective for today. Okay? They're talking about herd immunity. Herd immunity happens in a couple of ways. You can have fewer people, right? Fewer population that's further apart. You can have more people that have had it. You can achieve it with the vaccine. But a herd immunity comes in a couple parts. One part is the antibodies that they test for. Those fade. But who cares if those fade? Because inside your body, you have helper T cells. And the helper T cells produce those antibodies whenever you need them. So the next time, it doesn't take as long for them to identify the antigen and produce antibodies. So as we get the virus over and over, you're going to get better at dealing with it. That's one. So there's a certain sort of strengthening of the human gene pool to deal with the coronavirus. That's one component. Another component of it is people that get it this year and have lasting damage and get it next year. It's like compound interest. If you lose 5% of your lung function this time, 5% next time may be a smaller amount, but now you have a total of 8%, 8.5% of your lung function is down. So the recurring issue of the virus is another concern. And when you think about that recurring issue, people who get it in the first wave, who then get it in the second wave, are more likely to die. Because they have a higher instantaneous risk factor. Even if you pulled out all the people that were going to die from it, then the people who got it and got sick are the next batch to die from it. It's a progression. You get older, you have more diseases, so if you have 4 people and one person dies and one person gets it, your herd immunity immediately goes from 25%, 1 out of 4, to 1 out of 3. That's a big deal in one season, because soon as you have 2 people that get it, you're at 66%. And if you take a new group of 4, of which 2 people would now be infected, 1 would die, or even like a Volvo, 2.6 kids. So 2.6 people and 4.4. So now we put them in a group of 5. 3 of them, 1 dies. We now have 3 out of 4. 3 have had it, 1 haven't. You're now at 75%. That's a derivative the exact same way that the stock market options play. That derivative right there. Hydroponics. Yes, with springs, without, a couple different sizes, straight and curved, yes. Yeah, I think they're like $15. They got 2 and 3 inch ones. They're the good ones with the titanium coating, so nothing's so they last forever. And then we also have like the scissor fix if you're not going to scrape like the resin off it. Right, if you're not going to do that because it damages the coating, then you do something like the scissor fix, and we have that as well too. And then you just pump your little scissor fix right into it, and you're golden. Perfect. Have you been here before? So you know to pull around back, right? Okay, perfect. So there you go. See you then. All right then. Do I believe hydroxychloroquine works? I don't have any research. It doesn't seem like it does. It really doesn't seem like anything is working, so it's a trick question. All I'm saying is all of these scenarios that you guys are talking about take longer and longer and longer. And from my perspective, you're going to have to peel the walls off of buildings and put elevators on the outside to solve this problem unless people die. Because it's not just pressure from the coronavirus. I keep telling you, the coronavirus doesn't have anything to do with the people that are dead. Imagine the death rate. Imagine you're driving from California to Vegas. It's a 5-hour drive. You got 3 kids in the back, 2 adults. Your lady looks at you and she's got to pee. You pull over. You stop from 85. You pull over. You give the kids snacks. And 10 minutes later, one of the kids has to pee. Damn it. Just the pulling over and stopping. The amount of energy it takes to get back up to speed is so tremendous that it's 25% of the population to do it. The longer it takes to get on track to accept that it's a combination of both herd immunity, a death rate from stopping the economy, a more efficient humanity, until you get there, it's just a straight death rate. Because it's just going to be a straight death rate, we're not going to hold the death rate to as low a number as possible. It's going to be as high a number as possible. Duh, because none of the interventions are working. Duh. Oh, hello. Oh, god damn it, I can't say that. Now I have to donate $100 to something. Because I said hero. Oh, I said it again. Ah. Is she putting Christmas lights on it? Oh. She's supporting it like the first 4 inches of a hose off a spigot with a spring around it. That's so smart. Hey, but those people are so smart. Oh, now I have to donate $350. God damn it. See, Nasty Nug, it doesn't matter if it works or not. None of those things are a concern, whether the virus works or not. Because I was just willing to accept the fact that the virus does work, or that it's politically motivated, and magically in December, there will be a solution that gets distributed over the next 3 months. Whatever that solution is, I don't care what that solution is. That variable states that it could happen. And even if that variable happens throughout the election and into December and the holidays, it still takes a certain amount of... You can't just say, everybody go back to the way you were. You still have to put more fake news out. All I'm saying is there's so much pressure, and we have it on the system. And what did I always tell you guys? The first thing I would do if I was president. What do I always tell you guys I would do? I would close all public schools. What the fuck are we paying? They're your fucking kids. You fucking pay for them, fuckers. And what's the best fucking thing now? They closed all the public schools. Now, I understand I understand the whole thing. I've said the kids need a much better structure than public schools. They can't even protect the kids. So I'm just saying the schools have very little liability for school shootings. But you know what I mean? If all your kids were in a McDonald's in school and the same thing happened, the school would be liable. I just mean like, a little McDonald's restaurant where you had like a little, fast food restaurant where you have private school, like a little schoolhouse. All I'm saying is that when we look at growing weed and we see all of this information on this side and all of this information, and I'm trying to bring you both back down the middle based on what we're seeing. I made a video for you guys in February where I told you it was airborne because it was spreading on the boat Diamond Princess off the shore of Frisco. And they're still talking about it. And it had to have been airborne because it went through the ventilation system on the boat. Duh. So the question is, how does it play out? And what options are available for us to invest in? For instance, not only am I betting on Vegas going down, I've been very much considering doing a series of a private venture series because I have an idea that I think is just right for this, not only this market, but this environment, and I think it works in a crumbling environment, in a crumbling market environment. I think my business plan works very well. I think it solves all the obstacles facing this particular business in this particular market and climate today. And it does not take very much to get started, and it can easily be disseminated throughout the United States in weeks, as months as a business plan. Months. 3 months as a business plan.
You notice Okie and everybody else? Okie's eating a weed leaf. Got the grove show thing.
The pressure on the ocean, Fukushima, the population, China is loading up boats right now full of people on their way to Africa is what I heard from this webcast. On YouTube. Woo! Here you go. Here you go. This guy's going to tell us all about something. come on. Wait. Okay, no, it's not a dick pic. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Oh my.
You know what the problem is? Clearly obvious. You needed 100-gallon buckets. It's clearly obvious. This outlet is too close to the floor, and you need 100-gallon buckets.
What are you guys looking at?
I wish I would have sold one of those smart
What you
pots.
are looking at is
They're like $15, $20 pots.
I already know you're looking at it too. Neglect. So this is actually.
I was thinking 100% ridiculous. Is that 2 words or one in a number?
Been in a very, very small room that got infested with gnats. The environment was not properly
Your
controlled.
pots were too big and you overwatered. That's why you got gnats.
Yeah, because your pots are too big and you overwater and you got gnats. That's exactly right.
And of course.
And what else do you see in there? I don't see any movement on the plants.
No movement.
Sometimes I kind of just get in this mode like,
Dead as a doornail.
screw it. But I wanted to make the video because this is only the second time that something like this has happened. This is the worst of it. And I feel like every grower at some point kind of goes.
God, I feel like he's growing in clay. It looks like it's like a hard surface. Like he cemented it or something.
He cut it from his backyard.
Like he pulled caliche. Oh. I know exactly where he got the dirt from. These guys, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is these guys. No, that's probably not the one I wanted. I don't know what it is these guys do. But these guys build jungle houses with waterfalls. Underwater jungle houses with waterfalls, okay?
Do you want to learn to draw professional
Yes.
impressive artwork from scratch?
From
that will
scratch.
blow people's minds?
Blow their minds.
I'm Scott Harris, professional
Hi, Scott.
illustrator, painter, and artist. My character drawing course on Udemy.
Wow, you do not sound like that guy. Just look at these guys dig. And they dig this all out with their little. They've got their little, just the one tool. And then they make mud and stuff and paint from the grass. And then they like do little decorations and they tap it in. But they hollow the whole thing out. They just have the one tool and they just chisel a hole out of it. And then they get millions of views. Okay. I just feel like this is that dirt.
Or something like this where you, for whatever reason, it's kind of easy to neglect it.
Once that guy walked into the room and into the picture, started digging into the pot with this.
Yeah, just start.
Lost track of
Squat down and start digging with that pole.
Got like a couple of Oompa Loompas.
I mean, this is just absolutely embarrassing. I never wanted to show you guys something like this, but I also want to show you that if something like this does happen, that there is also hope. So let me give you guys my angle on this. Starting off with this plant here, I think this is blueberry. Yep, this is blueberry.
Deadberry.
DJ Short's original blueberry. If you notice, I have topped this plant because they have
Because that's going to do it.
So all these
He didn't
nodes,
top it, he literally
what
cut
I
the
went ahead
branch.
is I basically just try to make it into like a tabletop, a little flat surface. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Could do it that way too.
This plant right here is a wedding cake plant. This is like just, I mean, all kinds of crap happened to this thing. Lack of nutrients, lack of enough lighting, lack of
I don't think it was lack of lighting.
lack of lighting, lack of
I don't think that was it.
love, really. So what I've been doing is
The plant got pretty big, so there was enough light to grow 4 feet tall.
back there, we got lines and everything's gonna be situated here soon.
Situated.
However, what I've done is I've gone through and done some serious lollipopping, as you can see.
Okay.
We want to go ahead and give these plants the growth up here, since this is going to be.
Okay, don't scrog it. Just never gets bigger than the bucket. It just keeps getting taller, but never bigger than the bucket.
Never leave dead
Just to give you
leaves
guys
in
a
your room.
perspective, yeah, I'm taking off a lot. Still got a lot of work to do. So basically, how I like to go about it is obviously we're just going to get rid of all.
Shaking plant syndrome. Just shake Kick the fucking bucket.
And it's just because we don't
Punch, kick.
It doesn't need to waste any energy. Let the nutrients.
Yeah, there's no energy being wasted. Listen, you could just grab that plant and lollipop it. What are you doing? Just just
Grab that plant, pull it right out of that
take
pot.
right out of that pot.
Trash and start again.
Put it in a 50-gallon trash can and leave it outside till next year.
By no means is this ideal. However, at the end of the day, it is a plant. It's a weed. These plants are extremely resilient, and they really can make a comeback.
All that effort.
Oh, what, Chuck?
All that effort.
All that effort for
All
that.
time.
All that time. And you could just start over and be winning by like 4 o'clock. You know what I mean? Well, that's certainly a different looking situation than what he just showed us. Let's take a look at this. Boom! Oh, it's no, wrong channel. I mean, it looks a hell of a lot different than those other plants, right? Boom!
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for
That is all Prodigy had to do. Decrease plant count, increase plant size, control the canopy. That's the example right there of the one thing Prodigy is missing.
tuning in. And I wanted to give you guys an update here on the 4 great pushes that we've got going on here.
That's why I tell you always put 2 plants. Don't ever do 1.
Today's the harvest.
Always do 2 plants. Don't ever do 1. You'll never fill up the space right with 1 plant.
Hey, so I just want to give you guys an update on how things came out.
What?
Those XL bags. See that bag right there?
Is that? Yeah, that's what it is.
Where I went wrong and
Look at that.
how we can improve for the next one.
Dude,
Basically, you guys.
there's not much.
I think I did a pretty good job of
Yes, sir.
the canopy.
I'll tell you what the problem here is. That the only thing that you could improve upon this would be to have done 4 plants, almost as long as a veg, have far more focus on trellising them out to grow them vertically, because when you look at this one right here, your sucker branch, see how it's way off to the side? There are still a tremendous amount of empty area inside there. The only thing you could have done is grown 3/4 the size, but twice as many. So you had a little bit more volume, so you could pull the branches down and let each branch grow right up into a trellis. That's it, man. That's it. This is the step that's like Prodigy has 2 steps to make. This one, and then like a 4 plant where you get just the right number, and you learn to lower the branch into a scrog, because they only leaned them out. They only leaned them out like this. They did not lower the branch. They lowered the branch, but they did it at an angle. They did not lower the early part of the branch and then let the nodes grow up into the trellis. You can right here in this one right here, look how long it is. But there's a lot of topping and fimming. But this is, you know what the exact equation I'm giving you is, right? If you have a box and you fill it with apples, the space, fill it with oranges, the space between the oranges exists. As you decrease, go from like big oranges down to like tangerines, there are smaller spaces between, right? There are smaller spaces between the tangelos, and then you get the tangelica L or whatever. Those are the smallest ones. You start to pack each box more efficiently. I mean, you get a couple extra tangelicos in there or whatever they are. But still, though, you're starting to pack things more efficiently. Until eventually they're sand, and they all just lock together like this. You know what I'm saying?
And making sure that we had pretty much an even spread throughout. And as you guys can see, for the most part, that is the case. So why am I disappointed a little bit? Just overall, I guess, in the size of the nugs, they're nothing too crazy, nothing to brag about.
And yet, I thought those were good-looking buds. I think there's still some problems with overwatering and overfeeding for sure, and too much light with the burnt up buds, with the burnt up leaves. But I mean, this guy is. I mean, this is inching close.
Here's my hand, and you guys can see this is nothing.
And yet Prodigy is like, oh my God, it's a cola.
It's because of my scare that I had with these lights, and there's.
Okay, so let's start this. Dude, you are super close. I can tell you exactly what happened if you want to come on my grow show next week. We'll even send you copies of my grow book for free and to review if you want. We'll even do more. No, because that sounds like about to eat dick. Okay, dude, you are super close. I can tell you exactly what happened if you want to come on my grow show. In the Grow Boss. No, I want to do it. The Grow Boss at yahoo.com. Super fucking close. Super fucking close. Overwatered to shit.
Tree time.
Not really.
Anybody order a bonsai tree? What's up, guys?
Yeah, it's got that Shrek. It's got the cotton candy shape. See the cotton candy shape to it? It's got that Serengeti cotton candy shape. It doesn't grow out and barrel shaped. It just does the wine glass shape. Dude, are you hungry for lunch?
From the new.
I'm so hungry.
Currently, this is right
What?
for the next week until.
Whatever you want. I don't care.
I get myself. I ran out of timer, so I grabbed the timer from the previous bedroom. But, anyways, guys, this is the new room. A couple of things I wanted to point out here. Of course, first and foremost, and the most exciting part is the fact
That I'm
I have
overwatering?
two lights. This is the Fluence 2i. I have two of the fixtures here. This is a setup that I've wanted for a really, really long time. I've had my eyes on these lights. They are definitely industry standard. I know a lot of people that run these commercial grow ups that run these, and they absolutely.
I know a lot of commercial grow ups that I'll run other lights.
I decided to screw it. Let's go ahead and do it and expand the room, expand the channel, and show you guys just a different technique.
Oh, the too big of a bucket overwatering technique, because we've never seen that before.
This is Big Kush, a super, as you can see, bushy strain. I just transplanted this from the 5-gallon aerated pots, and now we are 15-gallon fabric aerated pots. So these plants are, I would say, about 8 weeks old. So now they're at 15 gallons, which I'm kind of nervous, kind of excited, because these plants are about to absolutely blow up and grow super fast. And right now they're just.
There are no other kinds of plants. That's all they ever do.
These two lights here, we have plenty of grow, plenty of sides here to fill in. So I'm gonna set the netting up here tomorrow. But I was just so excited. I wanted to show you guys this. And I just brought over some of the other stuff from the.
I tell you, anytime you see a flower garden that looks shitty, you're going to see a veg garden that looks shitty.
Some trees.
We'll see. They're pretty purple.
System. Super stoked on that. And then I want to show you guys this behemoth.
March 22. He's tying them down.
They were like $3.
A lot of plants.
Method to go ahead.
A lot of light. January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So it's like 4 months ago. Oh, I bet this is it. So this one, and then this one.
What's up, everybody? This is Captain Riggs bringing you guys an update with...
Missed the entire outer edge. The entire outer edge. Is the light at 100%? The canopy is like literally 4 inches thick. I mean, like 2 inches thick, right? Because he just laid him down. He didn't scrog him. He just laid him down. You can see how hard they're pushing up against the trellis. He just did this. He didn't lower the branches down like that.
So this is pretty impressive.
Says you.
Make a huge difference. It's going to take you from, out of a 100% capability, you're going to maybe utilize 60-70% of the plant. Canopy management is what's going to make a huge difference. It's going to take you from, unless you're growing like 1 or 2 plants, which in that case, you should still be implementing some sort of low stress training to your regimen, because ultimately canopy management is what's going to make a huge difference. It's going to take you from
None of this is low stress training. He just leaned the branches down.
capability, you're going to maybe utilize 60-70% of the plant. If you're not low stress training, then you're missing out. As opposed to if you are, you're going to be able to maximize like the remaining 25-30% that you could have gotten out of the plant just by simply making sure that the plant is evenly spread out, as you guys can see that.
Here's the thing. He's got the plant shape right. You can hear the things that I say in what he's saying. But you only hear some of them. He has not shaped the plant correctly. He does not understand how to utilize the edges of it or the plant count relationship between them. But most importantly, he doesn't understand that his plants are dead from being overwatered.
Like it here. So these plants were pretty high. If you look here, it ain't pretty. It is not pretty. But that's okay, because you gotta do what you gotta do.
I don't even know what that means. Does not pretty mean that he just leaned them over a little and woo? Because I'm telling you that when you do an LST, you're going to take that branch and you might as well just lay it down. Straight flat. Wherever you break that branch over, boop! You just lay it down and all the nodes come up. This is not LST. This is just taking some overwatered branches because you're in too big of a bucket with a super long veg and pulling them open. That's all this is.
You may have missed, you may fuck up. I definitely fucked up, that's for sure. I had a few branches that I snapped, but
That's not fucking up. That's not fucking up at all. That happens.
it's gonna happen. So
Right.
yeah, guys, these plants are gonna grow nice and lush into this net, and will allow me to manage the canopy a little bit better. The lights here, they say, Fluence claims that I can get them within about 7 to 9 inches of the plant without really messing anything up and causing the light stress that the kind LEDs, for example, have been doing for me. But
So stupid.
guys, so here's underneath them the technique. So they're gonna obviously grow tall from here. I'm gonna keep stressing them towards the edges of the plant. The edging of the net here. So of course, like as this gets growing for shits and gigs, maybe you don't want to worry about training your plants or riding bamboo. Oh. So it'll all recover, as you guys will see here over the next step.
Okay, here's the recover video. And they've turned up. And they're green and filled in and they look okay. And they look okay. He is now 4 to 6 inches worth of canopy. But whatever it is you're going to say about whatever it is, just remember
tuning in. And I wanted to give you guys an update here on the 4 grape pushes that we've got going on here, running the 2 Fools, 2 Eyes. And today's the harvest day. I just want to give you guys an update on how things came out, and basically tell you guys where I went wrong and how we
Where you went wrong?
can improve for the next one. Basically, you guys, I mean, overall, I think I did a pretty good job of managing the canopy and making sure that, you know, we had pretty much an even spread throughout. And as you guys can see, for the most part, that is the case. So, why am I disappointed a little bit? Just overall, I guess, in the side.
So he's disappointed. That's it. But back here in these videos, oh my God, this is how you do it. Oh my God, this is how you do it. I've been waiting for these lights because I wanted to be disappointed, and now I'm disappointed. I don't know. Was that the wrong conclusion? Was there a different conclusion? So this guy's been telling you the whole time how fantastic everything is, and yet it didn't finish fantastic. And yet I've been telling you the whole time that the plants have problems. What?
Fat fries.
Oh, you want a fat burger?
I think I might, yeah. Might have to try to.
You don't have to go for me.
Oh no, I want.
They got good fat fries though.
They got good burgers.
Well, why are you still here?
Hey,
Do you want me to call them and see if they'll make it for us?
you probably have to do the app.
I don't even know if there's an app. You want to just call them?
Let me look into this. Let me do some researching. Internet.
If you do it on the app, you have to put your credit card on the app. That's why we either call them or we don't.
There.
Yeah.
You can't just call them.
Homeboy's at the door. Who's at the door?
Burgers, man, I'll be right there. Who are you? What happened?
Just somebody at the door. Then, oh, he's coming back. He's looking at the sign. You can see him by the motorcycle just off to the right.
So he's not. Yeah, pull around back. Oh yeah.
I told you, we got to put a picture of a car on that sign.
Take your money all day long.
Give me your fucking money, you fucking fucker.
Oh, he had a park way over there.
God fucking fucker.
I like his little bird. You can take care of him. You guys can get it off. His little side burst. It's cute.
A side purse?
Pushes.
Grab here and down.
Oh, yeah.
With cocoa as the medium, and then the nutrients that we are running in here are the canna nutrients with the addition of some beneficial bacteria. So, the last time you guys saw.
Whatever. In the end, his comment was he was disappointed. And I know why he was disappointed. And I could tell you why he was disappointed all the way back to this video. All the way back to this video. Because nobody that's a good grower owns one of these plants for any reason, because you grow another one in 6 weeks that's 10 times better and 3/4 the size.
Extreme cases amongst other growers that I knew as well. And when I said this to a buddy of mine, it's just like, light work, that is nothing. Obviously, it's very sad. Never ever expect something like this, and I've never obviously want something like this to happen, but sometimes, what could happen, and you just gotta do what you gotta do. So yeah, I've got just a whole lot of stuff here. I haven't decided exactly what I'm gonna keep, what I'm gonna.
Whatever grower gave him that information was wrong too.
Kinds, although they're just turned off right now, but they will be back on and up and running. I think what I'm gonna do actually is maybe bring over the fluid.
Just to give you an idea, if you want to see what kind looks like in a winning garden with LEDs, here's an example of 2 kind LEDs in a winning garden. Okay? See how big the room is? See how full the whole place is with plants, right? I mean, it's like a 10 by 10. You can't get in the middle. Okay. Just quick reference.
And when I said this to a buddy of mine, it's just like, light work, that is nothing. Obviously,
I don't even know what light work that's nothing means. I don't know what that means.
Expect something like this, man. I never obviously want something like this to happen, but sometimes you know what poop happens.
He's out there doing a 9-point
You
turn.
gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh,
So yeah, I've got just a whole lot of stuff here. I haven't decided exactly what I'm gonna keep, what I'm gonna keep vegging, what I'm gonna throw in the flour. The lights are.
look how far away these two lights are. Look how those lights are 5 feet away. There's 2 of them in a 10 by 10 space full. Fuck! The screen won't sit on the bong because there's not enough resin in the bowl, and it's one of those skinny little neck ones, so if you try to poke it clean, you just end up breaking it.
You know, the kinds, although they're just turned off right now. Before, if any of you guys want, or you know, basically some tips and stuff on how to run it.
Sure.
But it's all good. These are pints. They'll come back over covered. Good thing is we're completely controlled. So CalMag out of the way. Of course, I'm gonna up a little bit of the nitrogen as well. Just an overall gonna be giving it full strength. So if you guys
Yeah,
were
right.
wondering my nutrients, I run the can of nutrients because I'm doing can of cocoa, can of nutrients. It's been great. Can of A and B for the veg, along with canazyme, and with rhizotonic, and then some beneficial bacteria as well. So I'll give you guys an update as I go ahead and get this monstrosity of a room back together, get things organized again, run the lines. I got all the lines here. I gotta go ahead and flush them all out. I had some issues before. If any guys
Of all the things in the world this guy doesn't need is an automatic watering system, hydroponics. We have a couple of those bags left, yes, but I don't even know if they're in business anymore. Just so you know, I can't find those bags on Hydrofarm or Sunlight. Maybe they're shipping direct, but I haven't heard anything from anybody, and it's not on either site. Interesting that you asked about that, because we just tried to order a pallet of it, and it doesn't exist. Yeah, they're all, I mean, it just depends on how much you need. I've got big bags that are like, you know, $60 worth of the Roots Organics would be like $45 from a different brand, but it's the same product. I mean, yeah, so just buy yourself the one big bag. It's like $45 or something. Yeah, because it ends up being 3 of the other bags. So it should be pretty close if it doesn't do it all the way. Yeah, so buy one big bag and then just buy like one bag of Happy Frog to go with it or something. Or a bag of cocoa. Or you know what you could even do? You could even buy a bag of perlite. If you wanted to water a little more often, you could add a little bit of perlite. Yes. Okay. Okay, perfect. Because I'll be here in an hour, but I don't know if I'll be here at 5. Okay. Okay, I'll see you then. Yes, sir. All right, bye.
Basically some tips and stuff on how to run a very, very simple automated feeding system that I like to do. Go ahead and just drop some comments.
Sorry, he had a burger special of the day. Sorry. What's the burger of the day? The burger of the day. What's the burger of the day? Hang on.
I got all the lines here. I
Hang on.
Flush them all out.
Burger of the day coming.
Before.
Burger of the day. Wait. Burger of the day coming.
Any of you guys want or
Come on. Come on. Up. Just a little.
on how to run a very, very simple automated feeding system that I like to do.
At least you gotta respect this guy's priorities. No moving back. Only forward. Unless there's pizza. Burger of the day. No moving back. Only forward. Unless there's pizza. Yeah, it's all written by the same person. It curved up at the end, but they've got the curlies in the F and down at the bottom of the G's and the T's. So here it is in the A.
Go ahead and just drop some comments. Let me know, you guys, like whatever information you want. Let's go ahead and get active on this channel.
We can get active. Dude, I love that.
Support. But, you know,
Yo, listen, we're going to build some community. We're going to get active. We're going to come together. We're going to have a drum circle. Kill a dolphin.
I'm probably going to get a lot of crap for this video, too, just because, like, how could you do this? But, hey, like I said, this is just a hobby for me. I don't make a living off it.
Yeah! Don't quit your day job. Oh, poor Captain Riggs. Poor bastard. I do have Green Pat Juniors in stock. No, you don't need them. Yes, if everything is going well, they make it better. But they don't fix any problems. They only make a good grow better. Why don't I get the glass screens? Because then, you know what? I tried the glass screens. I should have the glass screens for the bong, and I should have the other one, the stainless, for my pipe. Yes. You're right. So much dirt. The power cords. See, you guys are... I see a bag of recharge. Whose garden is this? I don't even remember. See, after watching the show, you start to realize that when people come on and they give us some information, and they go, oh, Grow Boss, show us your garden. And I go, yeah, I don't grow anymore. Oh, well, then why should we listen? I go, yeah, well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't listen. However, we don't really ever need... I mean, you've seen Too Tall come in with plants before. We look at these videos. I show you good from bad, silly from real plants. And the loudest fuckers always have the silliest plants. You would think we would be like... You'd think we would have to search for a bad video. You know what I mean? Like, dude, you'd think I'd have to do homework and prepare. But not only do I show up and barely get through the show without any kind of preparation, there's endless videos that you guys send me. I love it when we look at videos like that together. And you guys are like, dude, look at the... You guys are like, dude, I'm celebrating National Grow Boss Day. Here we go. Dude. I mean, just, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's off the charts, right? Oh, yeah, Chef Josh, good one. Yeah, notice I didn't mention anything. Yeah, thanks, Chef Josh. Did something just ding? Oh, yeah, something just dinged.
That guy never left.
Oh. It's a fuck. If he wants to spend more money, it's a fake credit card. Dude. Listen. One of the Yeah, I don't know what recharge is, but if it's microbes, you can mix them all together. I don't care. Do a line, you know what I mean? I don't rock them up, smoke them. Don't care what you do with them. If you're using them to make a good plant better, it doesn't matter what brand, they fucking rock. If you're using it to repair a plant, it doesn't matter what brand, because you fucked up your plant. So yes. Yeah, those, I tell you guys, when they look like they're so purple, like you've got a string wrapped around your finger for 4 hours, yeah. There's no topping these things. These are all blow darts. These branches are all blow darts. They're so old, they're hollow. Look. Shit, I don't know if you've ever seen me yawn on the show like that before. Look, I'm serious when I tell you fuckers. When you do this right, you don't ever end your video or start your video with, I think something's wrong. When you do this right, there's no place in your video where you're like, dude, everything looks really good, she's gonna blow up. Dude, you're just like, she's blowing up the whole time when you do this right. Dude. Those pots are just so big. They're just so big. Those pots are just so big. Oh my God. You know who's got to be killing it by now? You know who's got to be killing it because they're in even bigger pots. This guy's in even bigger pots. So he's got to be growing a plant that we've never seen before because he's in 30-gallon and 100-gallon pots.
This is finished the last couple of days. I went in flower last night, so about on day one flower towards the end of the video.
Plants sure do look a lot better. I wonder if he just stopped watering entirely. I hope so.
If you guys are wondering what I did to transition from flower, I don't do anything. I mean, I threw the food from the squat.
Do you see how he reeled me in with that? I was like listening. I was like, E.F. Hutton, what do you do, dude? Hydroponics. Yes. Okay, yes, sir. Pull around back and honk, you know? Okay, perfect. Let's see that. Did you see this? This fucker hooked me. Listen to this.
If you guys are wondering what I did to transition from flower,
I am.
I don't do anything.
Oh!
I threw the fruit from the squash in pots a few weeks ago. Those take some time to break down, so everything that the plants need right now going in flower should already be there. But yeah, everything here is looking great.
Everything here looks medium good. So, if everything here looks medium good, and even if it, let's just say it looked great, who cares? I mean, it looks as good as anything else without all the effort in the 100-gallon pots. That's all my point is. It doesn't matter what you think. Yield is based on light, and the quality of that yield is based on grower talent. It looks like a plant, and it's still not bigger than the bucket. How long has this been going on? This is day one. I mean, how old was this plant again? What is this, like forever? I mean, it just looks like a plant. It looks more like a hedge, like an oleander. Wait. Any tips or opinion on air layering for cloning over standard methods? Yes. Make sure that before you worry, I don't know what air layering is, but before you worry about that, make sure you have a healthy plant and you have healthy cuttings. And then whatever that is, when they root in 3 to 5 days, then you can do whatever the fuck you want if you can make that happen first. That's my opinion. The rest, I have no idea what you're talking about. He changed something. Woo! There it is. There is my answer. Do you know my? There's my answer. Do you know what the answer is? There's my answer. I mean, you see it, right? You see what the answer is, right? Old. Plants are old. Old. And not just old, gnarled. They're gnarled. And not just gnarled. The canopy is like 6 inches tall. At the very end, not just stripped, lollipopped, old, gnarled branches that are now covered in woodsy. They're so old. And then the canopy is like little pineapple tops. You know what I mean? It's 2 or 3 of the palm trees. They're the little pineapple tops with no canopy beneath them. And this thing's months old. That's why I keep telling you guys, if you had just had them in a 3-gallon pot and grew them, you would have been finishing flowering by now, and this guy's on day 1. And the yield stays the same, right? Because yield is based on flower time. So I don't care how many plants you have or anything about your veg. If flower is 8 weeks till you finish, and you get a flower every 8 weeks versus somebody who gets a flower every 12 weeks or 16 weeks, they're getting half as much for the same amount of light. This plant was never on a rotation. This plant is so old, it's your mother.
There was another guy out there ringing the bell.
There was another guy?
He walked up, so when I was out there helping the guy, the first guy, as I was helping him and then walking back in, I guess he tripped the horn, and I didn't hear it, and I sat down, and then the bell went off. He was walking up. I didn't see him walking up. And I didn't hear the bell. That wasn't in here. Mobile. Alright, burger time.
Okay, go do the burger thing.
Yes. King?
Yes. Gluten-free, no onion mustard, no cheese. I mean, I make a pretty bold statement here. Oh, he said your mother. He said your mother. No onion, no mustard. Just don't add any cheese either. Gluten-free bun, right? Okay. Can living soil give your stalks a woody texture faster? I have no idea. And that's how you know how real I am. I would have no idea. I'm not, can you imagine, what are you asking me? I'm some paramedic fuck nurse in the back of a hydro store. You know what, that's now the front of this, that's now the back of the I'm just some fuck here in a hydro store, you know what I mean, for like $10, you know what, does it make it get more or less woodsy? God, you guys suck. Harold Porter. Listen, Harold Potter, you are now, I'm going to make you a moderator because Because you are, sir, you are now my Frederick Siegel. Frederick Siegel? Is that who it was? Oh, there's a meaning behind Jonathan Livingston Seagull? God damn it. Oh, yeah, no, I knew that. I thought you had something. Franklin? Oh, yeah, who are the characters? That's what I want. Oh, yeah, creativity, courage. Oh, listen, I found this book when I was a kid. I read it every year. This is on some sort of Bible verse. Oh, no! I'm Captain Save-A-Clone. God damn it. Oh! Now I have to repent. Who are the characters? Here we go. Jonathan Sullivan. I'm looking for, was it Frederick? Motherfucker, you just can't. Jonathan Lee, Frederick? Was it Frederick? Jonathan Livingston Seagull? Yeah. Whatever. Oh yeah, Frederick. No, I don't know. God damn it. And now it lost its meaning because I blew it. All I'm saying is this. Jonathan Livingston Seagull once oh shit. I'm doing that thing they do in English where it's more than it's the words. Jonathan Livingston Seagull transcends distance. He flies and flies and flies, and one day he appears on a different beach instantaneously from where he was. He transcended distance and time and all speed. He was somewhere else instantaneously. Okay? And he could have stayed there. Oh, he could have stayed there. Yeah, that's what this needs. He could have stayed there. He could have stayed there and enjoyed his success. But no, Jonathan did not do that. Yes, Jonathan enjoyed his success, but he enjoyed it by taking his success back to the flock. And back at the flock, he shared that knowledge, and he shared that wisdom, and he was patient with those that didn't want that wisdom in a way that the Grow Boss is not patient with those that do not want the wisdom. And it makes you feel like Frederick Gull over here, Harold Frederick the Gull Porter over here. It makes you feel like he's like Frederick the Gull with the busted wing, and Jonathan's all, listen, you can do it, Frederick, and he touched his wing, and Frederick lifted off and flew. Okay. All I'm saying is that I showed up on the webcast already appreciating the irony of just how stupid growers are in the dumb, stupid, aggressive 18 to 49-year-old demographic, right? I showed up with the irony. I was already convinced. And I've just been demonstrating that to you guys sort of like, you know what I mean, like unabashedly ever since. You've been watching for a year and a half. And nothing changes, right? I mean, that's why, and that's exactly the maximum yield fuck call earlier today. Maximum yield doesn't understand, and even if they do, they're effing you in the A. Because every month maximum yield comes out with a different magazine. Blah, 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 blah. And they gotta ship them and deal with them. Dude, I came up with 12 books. Well, I came up with like 6 books for me to sell, and then I printed them 12 times, and I just kept sending the same thing out once a year, and then, you know what I mean, with new advertising and just mixing the shit up a little, and nobody ever knew. Hang on. I have them anywhere from like 40 to 100. If you want to use Hortilux because you're just getting started or learning, dude, take a used Hortilux that was used once by somebody that failed and enjoy it for the 40 bucks. Don't stress on necessarily buying a new Ushio for 80, let's say. It's just there'll come a point, but you can have a Hortilux and that supersized hood for 140. I do have 110 ballast. I have magnetic ballast if you want a super cheap ballast. Okay. Yeah, digital ballast you can have 80 bucks, 1,000 watt digital. Yeah. Yeah, 80 bucks. Okay, listen. Fuck! I didn't see that any green bad juice. Fuck! That is not the kind of thing you can cut up. I didn't see that any green bad juice. And it's not the kind of thing you can cut up. What if I order green bad juice? Okay. I'll do that in the next video. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that in the next video. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry about that. Fuck. And he literally called me and asked if I had Green Pat Juniors, right? And I was like, oh yeah, we got Green Pat Juniors. Only thing that's changed is the people. That's right. I want you guys to understand that a long time ago, I answered all the questions that you have. Now you just substitute products or different customers, but the questions don't change anymore. We've been doing this a long time. I have modified my explanation of things. I have found funnier ways, and you guys have come up with funnier things. We have refined our technique of teaching, but Chiba Man, I'm binge watching the Grow Tent videos. This guy is winning. Good, I'm glad. Listen, watch that guy. It's brilliant. He has the ability to work with plants in a way that I don't want to anymore. So it's perfect. I want him to have that. He's brilliant. Budsville is finishing. I'm just here for the Disco Grows and Bob the Builders. It's brilliant. Boss with the skipper hat from Gilligan's Island. Well, my liver freckles are, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Ugh. Boss, I'm sick of winning. I tell you, good growers only have two complaints. Girlfriends hate trimming. Plants got too big for the light. Grow Boss, red day or green day tomorrow? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Oh, me and the Chuck, we used to do those little skits. God, I love those little skits. Hydroponics. Oh. Oh, okay. All right. I'll be right there. Hang on. Give me one sec. Mic's not working. Hey, that's weird. Okay, you guys just have to give me a sec. Sorry. it's not outside. Sorry. you guys really need me anymore today? Can I go? I've turned into a detective in a Bruce Lee movie. Ah. I love being a detective in a... I don't know what that means, but I love being a detective in a Bruce Lee movie. I don't know what it means, though.
Okay, this is part 2. I have already... Just want for you to understand the magnet. Writing the book on it. The hypertrochoid. If you actually look down on it, you can see the hypertrochoid. Or some of you would actually call it a
wormhole.
Or toroid.
A wormhole.
Notion, i.e. to identify with phenomena rather than noumena.
Okay. Well, I feel more educated, thank you. Oh my God, I'm so tired. My life is just so extreme. It's just so overwhelming. Taking the dog potty, going home, coming back to the store, doing stuff at the store, then going home again. It's so overwhelming. I don't really think I have anything else for you guys. So, I'm feeling like, that's about it for me. I'll get off lunch. Jeff will be there in a little bit. And I'll see you guys next week, Saturday. We'll try this again.